Oh. Ooh. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I am exhausted. I have been chopping up wood and burning it for a while and was covered in all sorts of soot and just sweat in general. It's like 100 degrees out. Oh, man. What a day. I had to take care of a lot of straightening up and chopping down limbs from trees that were in the way and some broken from storms. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. How y'all doing today? 40 minutes. What? Thought I set the stream for 4:45. I'm a little late. How y'all doing? Let's see who all's in here today. We got Madness, we got Blessed, we got Pedro, Twinkle Star. We got Samantha, we got KSJHWK, KSJ Hawk, I guess. If I'm reading that right, we have Jay, we have Sierra, we got Jujubee, we got CRXS. God. Who else we got Sav Smiles. Uh, Chat goes on for a while. There we go. And y'all are active today. We have Mike Campbell. We've got Glow Flow. We have Mackenzie, Nikki, Mike Attitude, X Samurai, Vondas Vlog. Nice. Natalie Herman, Stargazer, Angie. Alrighty, I have caught up. Heck yeah. How y'all doing today? Oh, Kansas Jayhawk. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So you're a basketball fan. Jayhawks are only basketball, right? I think. Woo. Thank you. We got some steak and potatoes today, guys. And very invisible vegetables here. Look at that. Look at how invisible it is. That's crazy. Yeah, you could asparagus, but because it's green, it doesn't show up on the green screen. I wonder how close I can get it. Wow. Kind of wild. Look at that. Ghost vegetable. Oh, that's crazy. Here's a darker green one. Maybe that won't pick up as well. It's a little. That looks closer to it. Crazy. Good asparagus. Good stuff. I did not expect to get food so quick. Ooh, fast. Let's see here. Alrighty, guys. Ooh, have you seen the video where Josie interviews the Trader MTG? I did see that. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw she uploaded it. Tim Pool also had her and MTG on. I want to watch that. We're going to watch this today for sure. Trump scolded Charlie Kirk over Epstein here, apparently. And of course, the New York Times article, I already did this fact check. I was like, hey, who gave them this information? And it's like, they don't name them. They don't name a single specific witness to this at all. They don't name anybody. They just make the story up. Nobody witnessed this happening of what they claim, and this is what Candace Owens is going to go over. And she just happily goes, oh, this is a fact. They scolded Charlie Kirk. Look at that. With no evidence, nobody. 2:17 Pacific time. Wait, for this live stream? I came in here at 4 o'clock, so it would have been 5 o'clock Pacific time. That's weird. How did that happen? Wait, can I go back and look at it? Because I was in here at 5 o'clock, or 5 o'clock. I was in here at 4 o'clock whenever I did that. A little odd. Huh. It's not gonna let me see it at all, is it? That's weird. Vladimir, hey, for the $5. Shalom, y'all from West Texas. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you guys. Speaking of which, I do got something to show you guys. So I don't have the custom stickers done yet. They approved me so fast for this. I expected it to take a full 24 hours. But they did it quick. I have memberships now. So here you go. I guess I'm a mega troll because I own it. Okay, this is what the membership tab looks like for members of membership Megatroll? Wait, I'm really confused. So I have like a regular supporter, which is $4.99, a super supporter, which is like $7.99 a month, and then a mega supporter, which is like $9.99 a month or $14.99 a month. I can't remember. How much is this? Oh, thank you. That's so great information. All right. Super supporter. Cool. It's all the same stuff for now. I want to make a tier list kind of thing, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know, maybe not. It's got the 3 tiers because it offered it, and I was like, some people were like, hey, I would do this much a month, or I would do, way less than that, or whatever, and it's like, okay, I'll just put them out there for whoever wants to do it. For now, all we're going to do is kind of the sticker things, and also I decided, like, why not give people early access to a video, too? That's a cool perk, so I can upload a video, and it won't be live for another hour to the rest of everyone. So members will just get to see it early. And I was like, that's kind of a neat feature. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Hey, Cece, just instantly joined. Wow, thank you so much for that. Wow, alrighty. That's crazy. And Jujubee. Oh, thank you. And it does not matter to me which one you guys choose at all. Whatever you all feel comfortable with. I think I'm going to just stick with giving everybody the same perks until we get to, like, I don't know, if we get to, like, 5,000 members or something like that, maybe I would start adding on a little extra for the extra. I have no idea. It's just a road we'll have to go down together, I guess. If everybody likes just the regular thing and is like, no, we don't want any other tiers, that's fine with me, too. I don't mind. And, I'll just add more to it. So the plan is, after 500 members, I am going to do a members-only video every day. So that'll be one extra video every single day, 5 to 7 days a week. Just depends on, what I may or may not have to allot for. Because I got to think about, like, family and holidays and stuff like that. But for the most part, I would like to do 7 days a week on average for an extra video. After 1,000 members, I want to try and get to members-only streams. I'll have my normal stream every day, but after that stream, I'll kick it over to, like, a members-only stream. Just for an extra, like, story, extra hanging out, Q&A maybe, or just doing whatever you guys really want to do. Maybe it'll be a video game stream. Maybe it'll be talking about something else that's live going on that may not have anything to do with the main stuff we cover on the channel. Things like that. So let me thank all the new members here for sure. I didn't know just pop it up in chat like that. That's amazing. So thank you so much, CC, Jujubee, and Love My Aussie. You guys are awesome. Now, I will be changing the stickers. We're going to make it into we're going to make some awesome stickers for sure. And what are you guys' ideas? You have a sticker. It's the blue star. But that's the standard one. I'm going to be changing those tonight. Tonight I'm working on the stickers. You're going to have a different sticker by next stream for sure. And it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be real good stuff. I promise. What kind of stickers do you want though, guys? Just out of curiosity, because I plan on making like a troll sticker to start. Hey, Kansas City Jayhawk, thank you, man. I know you've told me that before, haven't you? Have you told me that your name was Kansas City Jayhawk before? I'm starting to remember that now. So much to keep up with. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, you first saw me on Paramount Tactical. Oh, okay. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. My kids were like, he has Dragon Ball Z. Oh, yeah. I love Dragon Ball Z. As a matter of fact, I need to go get it. I just got some Dragon Ball Z pins the other day from a place called Jinya. I guess they have them all over the United States. It's like a Jinya ramen bar thing. And if you order a specific chef special ramen now, you get this like pin, like a Vegeta, a Shinron, or a Goku pin. And it was pretty cool. It was a really, really awesome thing. Oh, thank you guys for joining so much. Vladimir Ostrovsky. Thank you so much, man. Jujubee sent one Artie Trolls gift membership. Oh, that's awesome. Who did that go to? D. Hampton. Thank you so much. Did that go to D. Hampton, or what? Did D. Hampton join on her own? Is that how that works? That is crazy. Heck yeah. Awesome. What did this thing just... Members only... Oh, I could switch... Okay, it wanted me to... No, not doing that. So I can actually switch this very stream over to a membership stream. So I wouldn't have to, like, go and start a whole new stream. That's a nice little perk. Wow. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Jujubee. That was very, very nice of you. And to bring someone else in. Absolutely. Yeah, they, I was really surprised because it normally takes 24 hours. I did this once before when my channel crossed, like, 2,000 subscribers, I think it was, or 3,000. They brought out the memberships, and I activated it, and, it took a full, like, 24 or 48 hours for them to approve it. And then I just did it again, and damn. Because they had me demonetized, like, 2 years ago. Because I was streaming. It was right when I was streaming the Donald Trump election. They were just like, demonetized. And I was like, what did I do? And they're like, you like Trump. And it was like, okay, cool, I guess. Thanks. But then they remonetized me like a year later. Crazy. Thank you, Mackenzie, for joining. Thank you very much. Now you are a troll. I will get a proper troll image for you guys very, very soon, for sure. Do you choose who gifted the membership, or is it random? That is a great question. Only Jujubee could answer that one. You know what? I'm willing to bet. Does D. Hampton, do you ever message in chat? I don't know if I've seen your messages in chat before. So maybe that's like a TV watcher, and you managed to get them into a membership, which is cool. Heck yeah. That's a nice thing to do. That's cool. I wish I could offer a lot more right now, though. You know, once I get to like a point where people have access to like members only videos at a bare minimum, bringing someone in would actually be a pretty good thing there, because then they'd just get it for free for a month, and then they'd be like, oh, I like these videos more maybe, or something, or they'd find out that they don't really like it, and it just kind of helps them make their mind up. It's kind of a nice thing. Buzzbickle, thank you so much, and I appreciate that. But I'm officially a troll. Yes, exactly. We're gonna get some. I figured, a play on the troll name. Why not? Everyone here is a troll. That's great, right? We're all trolls together, trolling around. I'm going to make a bridge one. I wish I could get like a little bridge sticker and make it like legible, but these stickers are so small, I doubt anyone would be able to make out what it is. But like have a bridge troll. Take their toll. Oh man, no, you know what? The final sticker ought to be? It ought to be a Danny DeVito. Y'all know what I'm referencing there with the troll toll? That would be a very funny one. That's like the ultimate troll thing, I think. But yeah, what is it? I wish I could see things on here. Like, we'll get loyalty badges and stuff like that month 1, month 2. And it'll have it like this. Yeah, we could go all the way out to 4 years. That's cool. 1, 2... 7... Okay, 8 loyalty badges that I'd have to make. Fair enough. That's cool. I used to have other loyalty badges, but they were all just like random things. They're Artie's trolls. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's see. Finally made it to stream. Heck yeah. I thought you meant troll stickers for the actual trolls in chat. Oh, no, no, no. For everyone who becomes a member. We'll all be official troll. I just whistle? Wow. We'll all be official trolls. Yeah. Heck yeah. I wish I could make myself a custom sticker. It would definitely be David Bowie. Be King Troll there. No. uh David Bowie. Man, what a great movie that was. Absolutely great movie. Jim Henson and just his insanely amazing ideas as per usual. But anyway, guys, you all ready to get into this? We'll see. I'll put some things out there, and yeah, everyone will eventually figure out that we're doing memberships, and that'll be fun. I'm really excited to get them going. Like I said, once we get to like 500 members, I'm gonna be doing like members only videos. Once we get to 1,000, it'll be members only streams and videos. So I'm gonna be taking a lot of time out from doing work and stuff like that, applying it directly to you guys because, well, things are changing, and it's thanks to you all. Y'all are amazing. I never thought I'd get to this point, to be honest. So, let's see. What movie was it? You're a baby boomer, so you're 63. Guess you're an old fart. Wait. At 63, aren't you still Gen X? Aren't you? I thought maybe. Oh, what is. What did it type that for? Okay, that was weird. That was an odd thing. No, I guess I'm wrong. Wow, the youngest baby boomers right now are 61 years old. Huh. Wow. I didn't know that. I thought like the youngest boomer was like 70. Dang, I did my math wrong. I thought like I thought it was 69 to like 49 or something like that. 60 or not 49. It was like 69 to 59 or something like that was like Gen X. I was really off. Crazy. But yeah, thank you for joining. Awesome. Your dad is a boomer. He's 64. Heck yeah, Sierra. Angie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Boomer ends at 1964, I think. Yeah, I'll have to. Should have looked. Oh, 64. Oh, okay, so the boomer ended the year JFK. Okay. Interesting. The generation things start and end different country. You're Gen X in your country, while others millennial. Wait, really? Madness, how old? I thought you were 38, right? And you'd be considered Gen X at 38? That's scarily close to my age. And yeah, in my country, I think the oldest millennial, what is, I think that was 82, right? 81 was the oldest millennials. Okay. Yeah, 45 years old is the oldest millennial. Crazy. Yeah, I'm a millennial. I'm at the tail end of millennial. Millennial ended in 97, I think. So I was born in 92. So I'm 5 ways away from the youngest millennial. You're 33, about to be 34? Same here. You probably turned 34 before me if I had to guess. I turned 34 in November. I'm the very tail end of 92. So you're probably a little bit earlier. I bet you. Let me guess, X Samurai. You are October. Let me guess exactly. I'm gonna guess October 19th of 1992. Tell me if I'm close, Samurai. You're 1990? Heck yeah, Mackenzie. 90s kids for life. You're born at the end of 88. Yeah, okay. So you'd be that would be so you're 37. Okay. You'll be turning 38 this year though, right? I believe. Let's see, Super Mutants 48. Heck yeah. You're 34 in November as well, Ashley Wynn. That's awesome. Wow, we are very close. I am on the 17th of November. Who also, well, fun fact enough, speaking of Danny DeVito and being, the final sticker possibly for, paying the troll toll, I share a birthday with Danny DeVito. He's also November 17th. Isn't that wild? Oh, you'll be 34 in like a couple of weeks. Okay, so you're July, baby. You're America's baby. Gotcha. You're November 20th. Heck yeah. Crazy. Yeah, fun fact, Danny DeVito, Martin Scorsese, and who else is super famous that has a November 17th birthday? I always love going over those. November 17th birthdays. There's the guy who wrote Aragon as well. Okay, this guy, 10 years old, there's no way he is like a celebrity. That doesn't even count. Danny DeVito, God, wow. I didn't know Danny DeVito was 81. That's crazy. Huh. Let's see. Oh, yeah, RuPaul is also the same birthday. That's great. Sucks. Let's see. Where's the other? Because I know, author of Aragon, he's also that, on that day. Stephen Root, not sure who he is, to be honest. Martin Scorsese, I remember that. Is there anything else? Where? Weird. It's, the guy from Aragon. What's his name? Dang it. Why can't I think of his name? Author. Christopher Paolini, that's it. Alrighty. Birthday. So you can see here, it's November 17th. Oh, wow, 1983. I didn't know he was that much older. Not that he was like in late 80s. Crazy stuff. Alrighty. We have Tracy just joined. Thank you so much. Alrighty, guys, y'all ready to get this video going? Okay, I'll be mentioning the membership all throughout. Oh, my analytics are gone now. They just disappeared. Good. Nope, they just blinked back in. Okay. YouTube. Cool. Alrighty. 1946 to 1964, boomers. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that's the right link. I don't know how I got my math off on that. Let's see. He was just a kid when he wrote Aragon. Yeah. Yeah, those are good books. They're definitely catered to a teenage audience. After rereading them, I was like, okay. I was like, I know why I liked it as a kid, but rereading them, and I'm just like, I'm a little older now for that, and sometimes that happens. But great, he wrote them really, really well. They're really good. Oh, Natalie Herman, thank you so much for joining in. Chels Hooper. Good Lord, why do I always want to say Hopper? Probably because I watch a lot of Bug's Life, which is a fantastic film, by the way. So good. Love watching that one with the kids. Chels Hooper, thank you so much for that. And Natalie, thank you. Man, Bug's Life really is a good movie, though. Especially that dude. That dude, he didn't pass away, did he? No, that was a different guy. Who is it for Pixar just passed away? Mr. Potato Head, that's who it was, that guy. Who's the mailman from Cheers? He plays he's in every single Pixar movie just about. Like he's in 99% of them. What is his name? John Ratzenberger, that's who it is. John Ratzenberger. That guy's like the pig in Toy Story. He's the flea in A Bug's Life. He's the School of Fish and Finding Nemo. He's shoot, who else is he? He's like I'll just show you. John Ratzenberger. Not roster. I'll just casting. Here we go. It's guy's awesome. He's the one who always gets tricked by the dude with the hat, like the dude in the hat drink and stuff like that. This guy. He voices. Oh, can I get a list? He's Mac in Cars, PT Flea, and Bug's Life, Undercover, The Underminer and Incredibles, Fritz and Inside Out. Oh, okay, I haven't watched that one. Ham in Toy Story, of course. The Abominable Snowman in Monsters, Inc. Yeah, here we go. Let's see his credits. That's what I was looking for. Swapped. Never heard of that. Spellbound. Never heard of. Wanda. I never heard of that. Wow, he's in a lot more stuff. He's the guy on the subway in Soul. Oh, he's uncredited in it too, but you can tell it's him. It's crazy. The Goldbergs. Never seen. Miracle Text. Lightning McQueen. Oh, of course, that's Mac. Underminer. Coco, he's one. I'm not able to say that last name. What the heck? Okay. Thank you. Trying to find his like other big parts. Onward. Nobody knows Onward. Brave, he's Gordon. Monsters Universe. Oh yeah, the Yeti. Up, he's the construction foreman. Yeah. Yeah, he does a lot. That's the thing, is he's in like every single Pixar movie. Every single one of them. Just about. There's like 2 of them that he's not, I think, that he ended up skipping for some reason. I didn't even know he was on the Bill Nye show. That's weird. I don't remember that at all. Huh. Oh, he's in Star Wars Episode 5? What? Rebel Force Major Durlin? What? I didn't know he was in the Star Wars films. Oh. That's odd. Alrighty, guys. You've probably seen enough of that, huh? K-Posto, thank you so much for joining. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and jump right onto this Candace Owens stuff, huh? Yeah, Bill Nye the pseudoscience guy. Well, not the old stuff. The old Bill Nye stuff still rules. It's great. But yeah, the pseudoscience stuff. It's so sad to see Bill Nye just, for no reason, destroy his entire career. It's pretty sad, but he was always desperate to just be a famous guy. So there's that. All right, let's listen to Candace Owens' nonsense. We'll get through this.
Guys, a happy Rare Friday. This feels like it's going to be a special episode because we don't normally do Fridays.
Oh,
and
it's
since
going to
we
be
were
special.
off on Monday, because I got hit with jet lag pretty badly, we figured that we'd give you a late evening episode. I had a very, very long press day today, so pardon me for running a bit behind schedule. But I'm glad we opted to do this Friday show because boy, oh boy, did a lot escalate yesterday evening over on X. I mean, Tucker did this interview with Mario Nawfal, and it's got me really wondering about Butler. Was it staged? I think that's now a very fair question to ask. Did you guys think it was suspected at any moment that it was staged? I certainly didn't. It was definitely something that I was reticent to even...
Look, Candace, maybe right. I don't know. Why are you asking your audience if it was staged, though? Maybe what you should do is do a little bit of investigative journalism and find out, right? Instead of just going, hey guys, today and the next thing that I'm not going to do any, put any effort into proving this at all, but I'm going to milk it for content, was the Butler incident staged? And it's like, well, it didn't look staged. To get something like that, to get a shot like that off and to just end that kid in broad daylight, and his parents aren't trying to fight it or anything, like what? None of that would make sense. Unless his parents were like, yeah, let's go ahead and sacrifice my kid in order to be, really well off or something like that. I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah. Oh, I did, just wanted to make sure properly. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining K-Pasta. I appreciate that. And, yeah. Bongino already said Tucker lied. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I don't know, Candace. Speculate all day, I guess, but you're trying to milk this in her next episode. She's going to confirm that it was staged. This is the setup. Next episode she does on Monday, she's going to do all this magical research over the weekend, not show any of the proof, but she'll claim that she saw that it was staged.
Consider before. And if it was staged, by whom exactly?
On that
note, we received a very bizarre response regarding our FOIA request to Sam 702. That's that Fort Huachuca plane that was carrying one person that we can identify, Bradley Hansel, the Undersecretary of War.
Yeah, the one that you claimed was not Dan Flood. Oh my gosh, why do Dan Flood's boss? Dan Flood's boss was apparently on that plane, and yeah, and then you found out he wasn't.
Pete Hegseth. So let's just jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace.
Welcome back to Candace.
All right, say stage just kind of misinformed. Yes, stage. Yes, say staged. Absolutely staged. But a lot of people also chat, and a lot of people are saying yes, stage. Yes, say staged. Absolutely staged. But a lot of people also saying I didn't think it was staged when it happened, and that's where I was. I don't know. I was totally captivated by it. I was saddened.
Can you tell me any reason why you would have changed your mind? Any reason? Any bit of evidence that would have changed your mind and anything like that? Or are you just going to be like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I guess, how much money will this cost? Oh, okay. How much money is this going to make me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think all of a sudden it was staged.
By it. I wanted Trump to win because of this assassination attempt. And I don't know where I sit right now, given this conversation that was started by Tucker Carlson yesterday. So let's just right at the top here show you the clip that went absolutely viral yesterday over on X. Tucker was joined by Mario Nawfal, and here is what he had to say.
Yeah, Mario Nawfal has proven himself to be a pretty much just a leftist, I'd say.
Regarding the first assassination attempt, I can't believe I'm saying the first assassination attempt of President Trump, which took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Take a listen.
About Butler, I know that Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. That is a fact. Dan Bongino told me that when he worked at the FBI. And Dan Bongino...
Yeah, Dan Bongino said that he did not tell you that. So you're going to have to provide proof, Tucker. You should definitely provide proof that Dan Bongino told you that. Let me take a look. I'm going to pull it up. Let's see. Dan Bongino. This person says, I believe nothing Dan Bongino has to say. I cannot tell you how many people... This person blocked me, by the way. I got into a little argument with her because I was like, hey, can you provide proof to back your claim? And apparently she didn't want to do that and blocked me instantly. So that's great. Good job. But you don't believe anything Dan Bongino has to say, yet you're going to believe that Dan Bongino told Tucker Carlson that that ended up happening. Oh, Chels Hooper. I swear, one of these days I'll stop calling you Hopper. Gosh, I'm sorry about that. Chels Hooper upgraded to Super Troll. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Dan Bongino is leaking info? I don't think so. Let's see. Okay.
He doesn't realize, like, I have these texts too. I never do this, but if you're going to refer to texts alleging we committed a crime, I'm going to put it out there. But first, let's address his 2 points. He says that the president shut down the Butler investigation. Totally, completely, 100% made up. But we did a full interview with Brooke Singman from Fox, which to all the people who, by the way, think Tucker's for real, if you think I'm doctoring any of this, please go look this article up yourself. Don't trust me, trust the evidence. Here it was, November 21st, even before Tucker says he spoke to me in December. Exclusive. FBI concludes Trump shooter crooks acted alone after unprecedented global investigation. Now, he says the investigation was shut down. Yet here it is on the record in November. Again, the Tucker fans will apologize for him until the end of time because they just can't give up the Kool-Aid. Let me read this to you in case you're a Tucker fan who can't read. The case, that's the Crooks case, he says was shut down, currently sits in a pending inactive status. Wait, keep this up. Andy, does that say the case is closed? Andy's shaking his head. Jasmine, does that say that?
Okay. How would I phrase it? Let's see. Is the investigation Trump closed or act? There we go. Chills for $10. Thank you so much. You say, I think she's asking her audience what they think, so she knows how far she can go with the lies. Oh, you are absolutely correct. And I don't mind Hopper. It's like a nickname. Hey, absolutely. Yeah, we could stick with Hopper. Just call you Hopper. Nah, I like to get people's names right, though, for the most part. But I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for that. That's very, very nice of you. Yeah, man. It's pretty wild. She's smart about how she does it. But yeah, of course she's fishing for audience to go, what do you guys think? I don't know. And she fishes to make sure that her audience is going to turn on her. Which I think at this point they would never turn on her. For the most part. The main FBI criminal investigation Thomas Matthew Crooks is July 13, 2024. Assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania has been concluded as of November 2025 and is now in pending inactive status. Okay. Pending inactive. FBI investigation status. The FBI led the probe with partners including the DOJ, Secret Service, and ATF, treating it as an assassination attempt and potential domestic terrorism. It concluded in November 2025 after an extensive effort involving hundreds of personnel, over 1,000 interviews, reviews of thousands of tips, global cooperation with foreign partners, analysis of Crooks, devices, accounts, and more. Okay. Crooks acted alone. There was no evidence of co-conspirators. There you go. Where else do you want them to go with that? Where else can they go with that? They searched his phone. They searched his accounts. They searched everything about him. Like, it's in pending inactive status because they're still going through a bunch of stuff, I bet. Because I bet that data takes a long time to comb through for the most part. But, yeah. It just is it is what it is. It's not been cut off or canceled by Trump or anything like that. They're just lying. Absolutely lying.
Himself was terrified when I spoke to him in December. It's such a long, boring story, but basically I came into possession, I beg your pardon, accidentally came into possession of a lot of the social media posts that we were told didn't exist that were posted by Thomas Crooks in the months and years before the shooting. And I was amazed that the FBI had lied about this. So I called Kash Patel and I
called
Dan Bongino and I says, what is this? I'm not attacking you. It was the previous FBI administration that did this. It was Chris Wray, but what is this? And Dan Bongino became hysterical with me on the phone. I've known Dan a long time, for many years, and always gotten along with him. Whatever his faults, nice guy, certainly very nice to me. I never had a problem with Dan, ever.
The fact that Tucker gets busted lying about this should absolutely make Tucker Carlson fans realize, hey, this guy has just changed his positions. He's lied. He's got caught lying. He has no credibility left. None. Can I say the same about Dan Bongino? Not at this, not of this moment, but will Dan Bongino do something like that one day? It's possible, right? That's the things I look out for. Anybody is capable of turning on a dime. Anybody could get bought out, You just don't know what kind of people you're dealing with all the time, It could be that Ben Shapiro gets completely and totally bought out by Qatar next or something like that, Seems like it would be impossible, but hey, you never know. Like, anything's possible. Could be Steven Crowder. Could be Sargon of Akkad, Could be, there's so many people you just never expect. You just got to pay attention to what they do, what they say, and don't marry yourself to a talking head. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys ever see me just flip on a dime without any evidence whatsoever, like if I change my opinions, it's because I have evidence and I show the evidence in its fullest. If I don't do that, I'm obviously probably paid off. If I had to guess, probably paid off or severely threatened, which I will be blinking a lot in my videos if that happens. I don't blink that much. So if all of a sudden you just see me fluttering my eyes, something's wrong probably. I'm in danger. You know what I mean? Just be an interesting thing. Watch me 10 years from now be like some 2 million subscriber talking head. All of a sudden you see me doing this all the time. Yeah, chances are I am compromised and trying to tell you guys what's going on. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be something, right? Lotus Eaters have been bought by Qatar. Sargon have people on his staff that side with the Iranian dictator. Really? I haven't watched Lotus Eaters in quite a long time. I don't watch them as much because it's a very boring news show, in my opinion. It's not that it's like a bad news show. It's a news show. It's like a legit news show. It looks like a mainstream media show. You know, they got their desks, their papers, their you know, this just in, you know, Jet You Betcha. You know, it's just stuff like that I'm like, it's not bad. Everything done with, like, their film is great. Their segments are great, everything like that, but it's formal. It's too formal. That's what I'm looking for. It's too formal for me. You know what I mean?
And that problem began when I brought this information to his attention, and he became a different person. He was clearly terrified. I didn't get it at first, but he was hysterical. And ultimately, after a long series of text exchanges, which I still have, and phone conversations.
But you won't show him.
He said, look, take it up with Trump. He's the one who shut down the investigation. And that was, I think, the first or second week of December. I think it was the beginning of the second week of December. I have it written down. But that was the moment when I realized, oh, wow, you know, there's no good explanation for shutting down an investigation into your own attempted murder. Like, this is not what.
If I ever made a claim like this, I would show the text messages. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would pull up in my phone. I would put it right in the camera and be like, yeah, here it is.
We've been told it was.
Okay, so a lot to unpack there. The first thing I thought when
Yeah, Bongino's solid. I like him. I like his show. He's pretty straightforward. I really like his show. He's got a good Rumble show for sure. He's killing it on Rumble. He's absolutely killing it on Rumble.
I saw this was, wait, what? Trump was the person who shuts down the investigation into his own assassination attempt. What does that mean? And then
Well, the problem is it didn't happen, and you just bought it hook and sinker. Like, you just bit right into it. You decided that you did not need evidence, Candace, and that should be concerning to her fans, but it's not for some reason. They're not critical of Candace Owens at all. Someone who's just like, what? I just trust you. I trust you, Tucker Carlson. Now, my audience trust me. It's all a trust me, bro.
Saw Dan Bongino's response. So just to recap what we just heard there, Tucker says he reached out to Dan Bongino because they had been friends for a long time. He reached out to Kash Patel because he was working on a story. That story was that the people, what was communicated to us was that this Matt Crooks character, Matthew Crooks, had absolutely no, or Matthew Thomas Crooks or Thomas Matthew Crooks had absolutely no social media history. And it turned out that he had a very long, extensive social media history. And the FBI was aware of this. So he reaches out and he says, look, you guys weren't involved. But what is this? Why are we being lied to? You guys are certainly in power now. And he says that Dan Bongino grew hysterical.
Okay. Do you know if that happened or not?
And he says that Dan Bongino was terrified. My understanding, and I think any rational person's understanding of what he means, is that this story, the Butler story, perhaps the Butler cover-up, whatever it is, terrified Dan Bongino and terrified...
Something about the Butler cover-up sounds pretty funny to me.
Kash Patel. Yeah. Totally believable. Just looking at Kash Patel, he constantly looks like he is in a state of terror. And this is how Dan Bongino chose to respond to Tucker saying that Dan was terrified. Take a listen.
This is not a pretend tough.
Oh, okay, so she's going to show it. Maybe she says, I don't know, for the first time in her life. We'll find out for sure. Crystal Brown for the 10. Artie, you are the best at breaking down this crazy Candyland world stuff with factual, unbiased commentary. Keep it up, man. Thank you so much, Crystal. That's very nice of you, and thank you so much for the 10. You guys are very, very, very nice. I really do have the best audience. It's insane. I've been nervous about just starting the membership things just because it was like, I don't know how people will take it. You guys are like, yes, more of it, please. And it's just like, oh, okay. You guys are unbelievably generous. Like, thank you all. For real. Just being in the chat and being nice, like, is just mind-blowing to me. Because I'm not used to that at all. I go into many other chats. And man, people can be really, really, really hostile in chats. And you guys are the nicest people. Thank you all so much for that. Genuinely, thank you guys. And thank you again, Crystal. You are unbelievably kind.
guy act. I'm a 51-year-old man with decaying joints. I don't plan on fighting anyone in the UFC. There's no violence is never the answer to anything. I'm not interested in any of that. But I'm going to tell.
Okay, but violence is at least fun to watch. There is that, all right? We're going to be watching that UFC, right? Oh, I wish I could stream it, but obviously the UFC would never in a million years let that happen. But no, for real. Why do I have this on? Much better. But anyway, yeah. I'd love to do that. I can't wait to see the UFC fight. Man, Dan, you got some crazy eyes here going on. You're going to have some unfortunate Candace pauses.
Tell you straight, if you think I was terrified of Carlson, then I'm really sorry. Like, you need to take yourselves a Xanax and go find a doctor, right? Like, that's, of all the things, like, that's awesome. The most hilarious. However, accusing me and the president of a federal crime, obstructing justice, bizarrely, the president involved in covering up the investigation into his own attempted murder, is seriously one of the most delusional things I've ever seen. And the reason I'm really starting to believe, and I mean this sincerely, that Tucker's just dumb. I don't have any, is he doesn't realize, like, I have these texts too.
Yep.
Well, quite a time to call Tucker dumb when you completely.
Oh, now you're gonna insult Dan Bongino whenever he's literally said, "Hey, that didn't happen," and you're like, "Oh, well, how dare you call Tucker dumb?" Now it's Tucker's responsibility to prove that happened now, because he said Dan Bongino told him this stuff, and Dan Bongino goes, "No, I didn't." And now you're instantly just siding with Tucker.
Misunderstood the context of what he meant when he said you were terrified. Dan, I don't think Tucker wants to fight you. Tucker wears boat shoes. He gives me Martha Vineyard vibes. He's definitely wasn't saying he wanted to fight you. He's saying,
got it. Tucker's a Nancy boy. Totally understand. We can move on from that.
Something scared you and something that you saw scared you. Let's cool it with the aggressive nature of wanting to beat up Tucker Carlson. Like, doesn't make you sound top 50.
Sure, even the last episode you said Trump was going to genocide an island that had 0 people on. Okay.
Why? No, beat him up. Okay. Then, on top of that, he completely misunderstands everything Tucker said. Tucker was very clear that he spoke with Dan in December. And Dan thinks that he has a ha-ha gotcha. I'm going to prove that Tucker is stupid by showing an article
that shows that the investigation is pending closure. And it's still pending because they're still going through stuff. So that's quite the gotcha, yeah. Because he said Trump had the investigation shut down, and the FBI is like, hey, it's not shut down. We've come to a conclusion. We're not worried, but we're still going through some stuff just in case. Why was that so hard to understand, Candace? Oh, you're going to intentionally misunderstand what Dan Bongino showed? And then claim that Dan Bongino was misunderstanding? Yes, Dan Bongino was misunderstanding that Tucker wanted to fight. Totally. I agree with you. And then you proceed to go forward and misunderstand that the article clearly states that the investigation is still pending.
That was published before him and Tucker spoke. He shows an article from November, which is
but it's still open.
Completely irrelevant to everything that Tucker just said. Take a listen.
No, it's not.
He says that the president shut down the Butler investigation. Totally, completely, 100% made up.
Right.
But we did a full interview with Brooke Singman from Fox, which, to all the people who, by the way, think Tucker's for real, if you think I'm doctoring any of this, please go look this article up yourself. Don't trust me, trust the evidence. Here it was, November 21st, even before Tucker says he spoke to me in December. Exclusive. FBI concludes Trump shooter crooks acted alone after unprecedented global investigation.
So what he's saying there, Candace, to really get your brain thinking here, is they came to the conclusion way before. And it was the FBI that came to the conclusion, not Trump. That's what he says. He provides more proof here than Tucker Carlson does. That's kind of the point.
Now, he says the investigation was shut down.
Yep.
Yet here it is on the record in November. Again, the Tucker fans will apologize for him until the end of time because they just can't give up the Kool-Aid. Let me read this to you in case you're a Tucker fan who can't read. the case, that's the Crooks case, he says was shut down, currently sits in a pending inactive status. Wait, keep this up. Andy, does that say the case is closed? Andy's shaking his head. Jasmine, does that say that? It does not. No.
Yeah, Candace, do you know how to read? What's so funny?
No. It says the opposite. This is before Tucker claims he talked to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the official, this is one of the investigators, called the investigation one of the largest mobilizations of FBI resources in history that continued to this day. But
yeah, Dan,
keep this up,
we can
guys.
come out of this. Dan, it's
Tucker
because Tucker spoke to you after that. So
Yeah, he spoke to her after that, but it's still pending to this day. What does that matter, Candace? Use your noodle. It's still active. It's pending inactive. But it's not inactive. Kind of the point, Candace. I'm sure you could read that, right? So he spoke to him after. Oh, okay. But does that change anything? Because nothing's changed in that situation. Crystal for the 10. It's because you're a kind man. Well, thank you very much for that. And you're doing such important work calling out these lies that are thwarting so many people's minds. You and what you're doing is worth way more than the 10 I'm giving you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I try to, and I hope I'm living up to that responsibility. I'm definitely going to try and keep that responsibility as accurate as I possibly can. Like yesterday, I had to delete a video because I put in bad information. So I had to delete it, redo the video, and put it back out there. So I definitely tried to be aware of bad information. Thank you so much for that. If I ever make a mistake somewhere, I expect you guys to hold my feet to the fire. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Crystal.
If the investigation was open before he spoke to Tucker, and Tucker says he spoke to you in December, everything you're saying doesn't make sense. But beyond that, his whole face,
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? You could just look it up right now, Candace, and see if it's still pending inactive or not.
demeanor, he's lying. I mean, Dan Bongino is just lying at that.
No, he's not. He hadn't lied about a single thing. Name one lie. How did he lie? Where is the lie?
It's how I'm reading him.
You're just reading him. Oh, gotcha. You're not going to read the facts. You're going to read his body. Okay.
He's not making any sense. He wants to fight. It's aggressive. And Tucker made a statement that he had multiple conversations with him. Dan appeared terrified. Tucker said it was both on.
Okay, so the guy, so let me get this straight. Okay? So if a guy comes in and he says, hey, this other dude right here assaulted me, and he shows no evidence of it whatsoever, and the guy standing next to him goes, nope, I never did that. You're just going to be like, well, I trust guy number one because, you just seem like the type of guy who would have assaulted him. That's the angle you're going to play? Oh, okay. Definite leftist right here.
The phone and via text, and he conveyed to him that it was the president who didn't want information to come out. And then Dan proves Tucker's point by showing a text message in which Dan instructs to Tucker that if you want more information about Butler, then you need to ask Trump to tell us to release it, meaning that there was more information about Butler that...
Now, hold on a second. That's not what Tucker said, Candace. That's not what Tucker said at all. Tucker said, Dan Bongino told me Trump had the investigation shut down. Now you're saying that the text message said, well, Dan Bongino said take it up with Trump because Trump has more information on it than Dan does. That's not even close to saying the investigation was shut down by Trump. And then you have the nerve to call Dan a liar? This is why. That's wild. Let's see it.
Trump did not want released. Take a listen to Dan Bongino pull the Paramount not so tactical. Take a listen.
Oh, yeah, let's see it.
Here's the other text where I actually go on to further make the case. Next, to him. He said, I hoped you had the chance, Tucker said, to see the piece on crooks. We received some information and are planning a detailed follow-up. Is there someone I can talk to at the FBI before we do? Thanks. I said, I saw it. And that you seem to believe that Cash and I, who are longtime personal friends with the president, are involved in some sinister cover-up is absurd. I thought he said we were covering it up.
Candace, I'm really going to need an explanation for this. How did you get to the point where you said that Dan was the liar and not Tucker?
Yet in my text, leave this up, guys. I'm saying the exact opposite, Justin, am I not? It's almost like he's bullshitting you again. Is the president in on it too, I asked? He's one of the victims. He's told us repeatedly, as he said publicly, he's satisfied with the effort Cash and I put in. The president's a victim in a federal crime. And when he's ready for us to release more information about this crime, then he'll tell us. I suggest you give him a ring and tell him you want more. Let me know what he says. He's a member of the media. People call him all the time.
Okay, cool. How much information do you think is out there? Maybe they will release that Thomas Crook's full blueprint, his entire manifesto or something. Maybe there's something like that. But other than that, we don't know. What more could possibly be there, Candace? Are you just going to make things up and be like, oh, I think it was this kind of cover-up? By the way, Patrina Rich, thank you so much for joining the membership. Thank you guys so much. By the way, for anybody who just got in here, I have a membership thingy now. And it's up to you guys which tier you want to be in. But they will all give you the same reward. So if you're wanting to spend more, you can. There's nothing more coming with it as of yet. So thank you all so much. For now, we're starting off as stickers. And then when we get to 500 people, I'm going to be doing once a day members-only videos. After we get to 1,000, members-only streams will start happening. And we'll see where it goes from there. I want to do a third thing, possibly. Just depends on how far we go. I'll kind of get to it as we go along. Mr. is now a member, too. Thank you so much, man.
Okay, so if the president could be called and could be told to instruct you to release more information, then there's more information that the president is aware has not been released to the public.
Yeah, that's true, Candace. What information?
Everything Tucker just said, and you don't realize.
That's not everything Tucker just said. Tucker said Trump had the investigation closed. And that's not even close to what happened. That's not even close to what he showed. He didn't have the investigation closed. That's a ridiculous claim, Candace. M. Songbird has just joined as a member, and so is Bart Kurlish. Thank you guys so much.
That you're confirming his report.
No, he's not.
By accident.
No, he's not.
Now, I am now of the position that something is very wrong with Butler.
Why?
And whatever it is that is wrong with Butler, it may go a very long way in terms of explaining what is wrong with Trump, what went wrong with Trump. Because
okay, maybe it could in your mind. But what evidence do you have that Trump had the investigation shut down?
We have two options here, okay? If you almost get assassinated and you do not fire the Secret Service agents that failed to protect you,
they did protect him. They surrounded him. What are you talking about? Now, as for the people who let the guy on the roof, we don't know if they got fired or not. We don't know what happened in that situation per se. There were some seriously shady things going on, but I don't think you know who it was that dropped the ball on that, and Trump very well may have fired that person. You have no idea.
On that day,
Heck yeah, you are,
they
mister.
moved you off the stage, but certainly failed to protect you on that day and see somebody on the rooftop. And then beyond that, you determine that you are satisfied with the investigation and you allow lies to come out about the investigation or lies to remain about the investigation, saying
like what?
That the person who allegedly fired the shots had no social media background. And then you withhold information from the public. We only have two options to consider.
Is there any proof you have that substantial information is being withheld? Do you know what kind of info it could have been? Maybe it's just information on redacted family members or something like that, Candace. I have no idea. Neither do you.
The first thing is that the entire thing was staged and Trump was involved.
Okay. Any proof?
Trump knew it was going to happen, and he allowed the entire assassination attempt to take place, thereby thrusting him into this category where all of us went, oh, there must have been a reason that God saved him. I'm not inclined to believe that option, okay?
Okay, some intelligence might be there. That's wild. Ms. Lolo is here. Thank you so much for joining.
The second option is that it was a real assassination attempt. It actually had nothing to do with the person that it was blamed on. And Trump did escape with his life, and it was a warning. do not ever do, well, whatever it is, like a gangster sort of warning. And I am inclined to believe that that is what happened.
Well, I don't know if it was a warning. It looked like they tried to actually just end him there. So I wouldn't call that a warning, but okay. That's an interesting take, I guess. Definitely not a warning. Hey, mister, you sent a membership to somebody. Let's see who gets it. Is it like running roulette for you or something? You actually get to pick? Let's see. Oh, and Miss Lolo just sent out 5 memberships. Wow, thank you so much. Holy cow. Hey, you guys are awesome. Oh, a lot of people are going to get signed on up for that. That's cool. Everyone's going to have stickers. Thank you guys so much. Oh, wow. Y'all are amazing.
This would completely transform Trump. It would make him obey. It's like a gangster. Basically, you take money from a gangster, you take hundreds of millions of dollars from a gangster, they fire a warning shot.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I almost said Mitchell Crooks. Wow, there we go. I'm sure, whatever, Matthew Crooks here was such a good aim, he aimed for that ear.
Maybe because, you willy-nilly said in front of Charlie Kirk
Jenny,
and
right.
Andrew Colbert that you were going to take somebody's money and then F them over, not knowing that information got back to some people. And you escaped with your life, and after that, you just did whatever these people said. I'm just thinking here because I believe Tucker is telling the truth, and Dan's entire face and demeanor and panic and yelling and threatening to fight.
Well, Dan showed the text and proved Tucker lied. So why do you believe he told the truth? Because again, Tucker said, hey, Dan told me Trump had the investigation shut down. And then Dan was like, here's the text messages where he never once said anything like that at all. In fact, he pushed back on Tucker and chewed him out. So it's the exact opposite. He says, no, Trump did not do that. And showed text message proof. And you're like, oh, well, he's lying. Just because. Candace really does think her audience is a bunch of idiots. And I hope that they actually pay attention and realize that that's what Candace Owens is doing.
Signals to me that Tucker is telling the truth. That Tucker told him on the phone that
Jay Fortman,
it was Trump
joining,
himself that shut down this investigation. Okay? That is what is being reflected to me in the worst poker face that I've ever seen in Dan Bongino. He can't even think rationally. He
doesn't need a poker face. He showed text proof.
Angry and wants to fight because he's been exposed. Okay? If that version of events is true, if Trump survived an assassination attempt and then the gangsters came to him and said, you do whatever we say now, well, that could bring us to a sort of logical explanation as to Trump's behavior thereafter, because I believe that Trump betrayed Charlie Kirk.
Why? Do you have any evidence to back that claim?
By a similar lack of investigation into who killed Charlie Kirk.
Investigation is still actually ongoing. It has not closed out.
He betrayed himself and he betrayed Charlie Kirk. And if the same people were involved in both, which I think there is an indication, I think many of us suspect that the same people could be involved in both.
Let me guess, little rabbit here. They're going to have very tiny hats. The ones that were involved. They find the biggest retards to go out there and pull the trigger. For some reason, instead of getting real assassins.
Both, then you could see how easily that might keep Trump in line, because I think Trump is very vain. And even though he is old, he is not trying to be a hero. And his option is, we'll keep you alive. And
yeah, no, you're right. He only gave up everything in his first term. He's not trying to be a hero at all.
We'll make you so rich and your family so rich and you'll have land and you'll have your name on buildings forever. Trump's taking that option, right? He would rather take, I'll be alive for a couple of more years and very wealthy, rather than to sacrifice his life doing the right thing.
Any proof to back this claim, though? That's a pretty awful thing to say about somebody. Any proof?
Him and Charlie had different character.
Really? Any proof?
Which brings us to a rather explosive piece that was published in the New York Times yesterday. This was also trending. This is inside the White House.
Oh, no. Hey.
Freak out over the Epstein files. Now, I am not a normal consumer of the New York Times, obviously. I don't really read much of the media anymore because of how many lies have been told. But this piece, it was very obvious that it was well sourced. And I'll get into my opinion, which is that
it's well sourced? Really? Well, I'd love to hear who those sources are.
Dan Bongino was one of the sources, and I'll tell you why I think that in a bit.
Why would you have to think that? It's well sourced. It should say who the source is. You're telling me it's Dan Bongino, but you're like, well, I think it's Dan Bongino. How could it be well sourced if you have to think who leaked the information?
But revealed in this piece was a relevant portion about Charlie Kirk. In summation, it's about how Trump really did not want the Epstein files to be investigated.
And of course, I have the article pulled up here, right here. And of course, Grok says that Jonathan Swan, Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan does not name a specific witness. These are the people who wrote the article. To the internal White House events it describes. So, Candace, I want to know why you said it was very, well sourced. Doesn't make sense to me. Why would it be very well sourced?
Now, there are two takes on this. Some people think that it is because he is in them. I don't doubt that Trump had some sort of a business relationship with Epstein. It makes perfect sense to me when you understand Epstein's business model, right? What did Epstein do? He was involved in a trafficking ring. He trafficked weapons. He trafficked people. He did it on behalf of the state of Israel. We have another Israel theme. Charlie Kirk, I'm turning away.
Any proof Israel had anything to do with this?
From Israel. Donald Trump, I'm going to screw over Miriam Adelson. Shortly thereafter, an assassination attempt happens. Okay.
Did he ever say he was going to screw over Miriam, whatever her name is? The really rich lady that's super into Israel and whatnot. Is there any proof that he was going to screw her over?
And now we have Trump in a full panic at the White House over the Epstein files and him having to do anything to shut down that investigation.
Really? Is that why it was not shut down? I don't think that's shut down at all. Let me see. Is the Epstein still under investigation? Let's see. I don't think it is. Maybe it is shut down.
So
let's see.
We learn that just in the midst of Charlie's SAS, the Student Action Summit, where we have been telling you over and over again, according to our timeline, it seems to us that after Tucker took the stage at SAS, Tucker Carlson took the stage at SAS.
Well, look at this, guys. Look, this is just so shocking. Yes, aspects of the Epstein situation remain under active investigation as of June 2026. Though the core federal criminal case against Jeffrey Epstein himself is closed, that's because he's dead. You can't investigate a guy anymore who's gone, for the most part, for a federal criminal case, because you can't try a man who's dead. But for the most part, yeah, it is under active investigation. So what are you talking about, Candace? Trump has done nothing to shut that down. Why do you constantly lie?
It's SAS. Instructions went out to
the article's an advertisement for their book coming out.
That's just what the timeline tells us. If we're just looking at it like a story, things got weird after Tucker hit the stage. We have said this from the very beginning since we mapped out.
Chelsea Hernandez is now a member. Thank you so much.
This timeline. Well, it turns out Tucker spoke on July 11th, and on July 12th, Charlie received a phone call from the president. Here's what the New York Times article tells us. It reads, quote,
and source, nope, no source. This is fake. There is no source on this. They made this up. And again, like I said, from the New York Times article here, as you can see, it is NewYorkTimes.com, 2026, 6/10, June 10th, 2026, magazine, Trump, Epstein files, White House, Vance, DOJ. I could probably find this exact line. I'm going to find this exact line on July 12th, okay? So, on July 12th, On July 12th, the president took to Truth Social to defend Bondi against criticism. See? On July 12th, the president took to Truth Social to defend Bondi against criticism. So you can see it's the same article. Okay? You can see New York Times, 2026, 06/10, magazine, Trump, Epstein files, White House, Vance, DOJ, HTML, EAFS, enabled equals false. Right here, enabled equals false. You can see it's all the exact same article. I am not making this up. I can actually provide all of my sources right here pretty easily. And in the article, it does not name a specific witness to the internal White House events it describes. Okay? It is based on reporting for their forthcoming book, Regime Change, Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. Drawn from accounts by multiple anonymous senior administration officials, White House DOJ, who were present at or directly informed about the meetings. Okay? And it never says, like, where, who, status, ranking, from who, from where, anything like that. The piece details a 2025 internal crisis freakout in the Trump's White House over the handling of the public fallout from Epstein-related files. Key elements include a July 7th, 2025 DOJ FBI memo stating there was no client list and releasing prison videos of Epstein's death, all that stuff. Who witnessed or provided accounts of the White House meetings? Anonymous senior officials. That's it. Just anonymous senior officials. Named participant in the key July 2025 meeting, who would have directly witnessed the events. Vice President J.D. Vance led the meeting. Apparently, Susie Wiles would have been there, David Warrington, Caroline Leavitt, Taylor Budowich, Stephen Chong, Todd Blanche, Stanley Woodward Jr., James Blair, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. So, why would have, what about this would have, how did they know that Charlie Kirk would have been there? Why didn't they name that? Because apparently he was supposed to be in there, right? So yeah, it's just all a bunch of bogus garbage for the most part. Like, if they actually had a real witness, somebody that they could be like, okay, like, this is where we got this information from, it would be a lot more believable. I don't know that I would still believe it per se if they redacted everything. But, I mean, come on. It's an anonymous source. In other words, it is a trust me, bro. That's it. That's the whole article she's going to read is just a trust me, bro. Oh, Crystal Brown, you joined too. Thank you so much. Welcome to Trollhood as well. Did I miss, Chelsea Hernandez. Cool. Awesome. Thank you both for joining. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe the memberships are doing as well as they are. I have, can I see who else? If I refresh this, does it give me any? Nope, it does not show me. How many members? I'll have to take a look how many members we got so far. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys want to join as a member, you can definitely do that. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all so much. It has not given me a number yet, so I'll probably not find out for another 24 hours. That's just how YouTube seems to work. But anyway, yeah, Candace is full of crap here. No sources listed. It's just a Trust Me Bro article.
On July 12th, the president took to Truth Social to defend Pam Bondi against criticism and to urge his boys and gals to stop wasting time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Trump told aides that he was very unhappy with some of his most influential...
I gotta say, I care about him, but I don't care about Epstein the first 2 years of Trump's term. I would actually care about him a lot more in like this third or fourth year. If these people would have just not tried so hard to sabotage Trump's like economic growth, we would be in so much better of a place right now. And then we could have focused on Epstein in year 3 and year 4 of his presidency before he gets out of office. That's how we should have done it. But instead, all the rich people, all the rich leftists and all those people were like, no, the Epstein files take precedent over everything else. And it's like, nah, us working class guys really need help right now. We need to deport the illegals. We need to make our economy better. We need to bring factories back to the United States. We need to push trades more on more people. That's how we fix our country. And then after that, we can worry about the other stuff. But people thought that, really, the Epstein files were number one issue. And they pushed it really, really hard in office, when in reality, it's like, hey, this stuff isn't putting food on my kids' plates. We really need severe help because of the lockdowns have destroyed everything. They've flipped everything upside down. Nothing's affordable at the moment. And it's like, you all think the files are what's more important than anything at the moment? Like, it's just such a cope. It's such a, like, how would I put it too? It's such a psyop.
Supporters, including Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, and Megyn Kelly, all of whom were publicly urging the administration to come clean. Kirk had held a Turning Point USA event the previous day that turned into an Epstein grievance fest, with one speaker after another bashing Bondi over her handling of the situation. Trump had called Kirk and scolded him.
I want proof that that happened.
Okay. Couple of things happening here. Why would Donald Trump, the president of the United States, call Charlie Kirk to scold him?
This is my point. This is how Candace Owens asks questions. She's not really asking questions. She's saying Trump called and scolded him, as a matter of fact. And then she asks the question, well, why did Donald Trump scold him? As if that is proven fact. But that actually didn't happen, did it? At least I have no evidence that that happened. So why, Candace, would you come out and ask, why did Donald Trump do something that is a good possibility he didn't do at all? See how that's a real question, Candace? Crystal, you're worth it, man. Your content is worth it. Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. Seriously, thank you. But yeah, it's so unbelievably dishonest when you ask a question that doesn't really ask a question, but actually makes a statement.
Because people on stage are calling out a child rapist. Make it make sense.
Well, I will. It didn't happen. See how much more sense that makes now?
I'm open to other ideas. I don't want to.
Okay, well, maybe you should make some more stuff up.
Be a conspiracy that make sense. There was mass panic. We have covered this. Charlie lost millions and millions of dollars on stage from his pro-Israel donors over Tucker calling out Epstein. Megyn Kelly talked about Epstein. So this is perfectly tracking with what we know went down. And Charlie held the line. By and large, Charlie held the line. They wanted him to cancel Tucker. They were angry that
Well, so far, there wasn't really a they. There was one person who scolded Charlie, and that was some lady that was very, 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 very hyper pro-Israel. And that was it. That's the only evidence you've ever shown was one lady. But okay.
Particular that Tucker Carlson had asked where Bill Ackman's money comes from. It's kind of like one of those Epstein-esque questions where it's like, these people get really rich. When you start looking into it, it doesn't really make sense where their money is coming from. There was massed Zionist panic. Again, we have the theme of Israel.
Really?
So let's plot that on our timeline because...
So Trump scolding Charlie over the files is Israeli themed? How did you jump from that to this? Okay.
I remembered something that's bothering me, okay? July 11th to July 13th, 2025, we know that that's the Student Action Summit, Turning Point USA Student Action Summit in Tampa Bay, Florida. Charlie's first speech is at 4 p.m. on Friday. His last speech concludes at 1:10 p.m. on Sunday. Okay. July 11th is the day that Tucker Carlson delivered that speech. Charlie tells him to go max, despite the fact that donors are freaking out.
He told him to buy an iPhone Pro Max, but okay. You don't even have proof that he ever told him that, really. You have a video, like a quick cell phone video that just starts, and Charlie goes, go max. And then the video ends. And it's like, what was it, like 1.2 seconds long? And you're like, wow, he said go max. And it doesn't show why he would have said that or anything. But all I can assume is he wanted a iPhone Pro Max, or was like, should I get the iPhone Pro or the iPhone Pro Max? And he goes, go max. That's really it. Like, it could have been like, what should I get my wife here? She's having a pretty bad time. She needs some Midol, and I don't know, which one should I go? Oh, go max. You know, get that heavy flow taken care of. You have no idea what Charlie Kirk was talking about there at all, and you don't show any evidence. You could have let the video play longer, too. Like, why is it cut? Why did somebody pull out their phone, click play real quick, and then turn it off after 1 second when Charlie just says, go max, and then that's it? That doesn't make any sense to me, Candace. So, obviously, there's way more video, but you didn't want to play it. Why?
Tells him to go max.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Okay. He calls out Jeffrey Epstein. He says that the people who serve in foreign armies should be stripped of their citizenship, and he muses about where Bill Ackman's wealth comes from. On July 12th, according to the New York Times, President Trump calls Charlie Kirk angrily, and he scolds him about SAS, calling it an Epstein grievance fest. What does this have to do with you, Trump? What does that have to do with you? Who is telling you to call Charlie and scold him? Now,
you don't even know that he was ever called and scolded. You have no idea. No proof whatsoever.
There's only two options. One, the gangsters that you took money from are telling you to call Charlie and put an end to it because Epstein worked for Israel. Or
okay. Any proof?
Two, you're in the Epstein files. There's no
any proof
between. You don't just call someone to scold them about bringing up.
There's also option 3. He didn't call and scold him.
Being aggrieved by a child rapist. Everyone should be aggrieved by a person who harms children. If you're not, we're not on the same team. Okay. This July 14th date, Erica travels aboard a private flight to Long Beach, California. She's got Catherine Locastro. It's a young woman who works Turning Point USA, was at one point Mikey McCoy's assistant, Derek Kirk, who's
I don't even think she could say that name out loud on YouTube. Holy crap. That was a wild one. I did not expect to hear that.
Bodyguard Jonathan Barcelo, who is a Marine, and she speaks at James Caddis's Calvary Chapel Church. Now, James Caddis is that icky guy who is Egyptian and runs Turning Point.
Wow, that wasn't very nice, Candace. Egyptians are people too. Good Lord.
USA Faith.
Wow.
We need to look into James Caddis. I've received so many emails about him. Radically pro-Israel. She speaks at their Women's Summer of Psalm retreat. And there was something bothering me about this speech. Forever, I keep being like, this speech is really weird because she says in the speech that this was her Sunday church. Okay, we know Erica bounces. Sometimes she's Catholic. Sometimes she's, Jewish. Sometimes she's Judeo-Christian. And this day she was Calvary Chapel. Okay. But it was bizarre to me because when James Caddis tees up the speech, he goes on about like pro-Israel. And I was like, there's something really bothering me about this on the timeline. The first and foremost, I realized Erica didn't show up to SAS, which was unusual. Then she gets on a plane. She knows her husband is being aggrieved. She knows her husband is under pressure from Israel. She knows her husband is losing millions from Israel. And yet she gets on stage. She gets this pro-Israel intro from James Caddis and then talks about, how there's always war in Israel because Israel is great or whatever. And says that this speech is sort of a call to arms. And she's putting it in the context of women and dating and whatever. I'll let you take a little listen to this portion of her speech.
And interestingly enough, in the history of Israel, as many of you guys know, because I know you guys go to a biblically based church, so you understand this, that the record of Israel is that there is constant invasion and warfare in the promised land. Because of this, the land rarely has a chance to flourish uninterrupted.
That doesn't sound anything like Candace Owens said that Erica Kirk said. She said that Israel's under war because they're awesome. And then Erica Kirk's like, yeah, because they're, it's actually a really pretty land, but they don't have as much of a chance to let it flourish because they're always under war. Well, that sounds completely different than what you said, but okay.
And every so often when a king rises up, they unify their people, they fend off the enemies, and for a brief moment, the people can finally enjoy peace. And it's not the peace that their military brings. It's the only type of peace that God can grant, true peace, where there's lasting prosperity and the people can flourish. And so the theme of Psalm 144 is this: praise and prayer to God because of who he is, not just what he gives. So again, this psalm it's a battle song. It's a call to arms. But it's also a call to trust, and it's a call to worship, and it's a call to prepare.
Okay.
Call to arms, call to worship, call to trust,
Yeah, it's a song.
To understand that there's conflict in Israel at all times. And this...
Yeah, it was a song, but okay.
This is like, post-genocide, so I don't love that. But there was still something that was gnawing at me beyond the fact that, like I said, James Caddis is this like Egyptian pastor that's like radically pro-Israel that she does a lot of work with. And he's very involved in Turning Point USA. This is literally his PragerU video. I'm an Egyptian pastor who supports Israel. And finally, it dawned on me. Okay. I'm going to explain it to you. Next up on our...
It was the Egyptian pastor the whole time following Charlie. Is that what you're going to say? DDS Allen, thank you so much for joining, man. And I really appreciate that.
Timeline. So she gives the speech, irrespective of what her husband's literally going through at this exact same time. Donors pulling out, yelling at him as soon as he gets off stage. He's telling Tucker to go Max. Anyways, the president of the United States is calling him. This is his wife. She knows this is all going on, okay?
Yeah, he never said go max like that. That's not what he meant. And you don't have any proof for it.
If anybody's beefing with my husband, I'm the enemy. Like I'm like with my husband 100%.
Even whenever when your husband runs his car off the road and destroys it due to a drunk driving accident, you'll defend him to the end.
There's no halfway with that. I'm not going to say something cute to you. I'm going to be like off the Israel train immediately. Right after this, on July 18th, that's when the request goes in for UVU. We still don't know who submitted that request.
Y'all see her just speed up?
I told you it is literally never happened that you instantly get a spot, the first spot of a semester tour. There's such a long waiting list to.
Oh man, DDS Allen just sent 10 memberships. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, all you guys get it. Okay, yeah, Madness got a membership there. I didn't think. Weird, I thought moderators would just have a pass on that. That's interesting, but okay. Received a gift membership. Catherine, Zebra Life, DJ, Amy, Abby, Elaine, Matthew, Jungle, Wow, that's crazy. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
You have Charlie go speak at their.
Oh, he got a. Oh, did he get a. Why was he not able to figure out how to go into his box? That was really funny. That's very funny. Wow. Love you. My wife gave my dog a pig ear, and it's like, probably about like that big. And he's got this I'll show you his box he's sitting in right over there. And he, for some reason, just acted like the pig ear was too big to get into the box with, and he was like holding it way up into the air, and he could not like go into his box because his nose kept hitting the top of the cage. It was like, just look down and just walk in it like normal. And he just kept bumping into the box. It was like, oh, it's treating his tiny little treat like it was a giant treat for some reason. It was very funny.
Schools, but they suddenly
Silly
made
dog.
one. It's this July 20th thing that it suddenly dawned on me. What was bothering me about Erica being introduced pro-Israel and being pro-Israel on stage in the midst of everything Charlie was going through.
Yeah, what?
July 20th-ish, Charlie vacationed in Maine for a couple of weeks. Okay, so let's just say from July 20th to July 30th.
Sure.
He went off radar. And this is when Mikey McCoy and Elizabeth McCoy joined them for the first time on vacation. And they capture all these images that we're then going to see as soon as Charlie's assassinated, these images of him walking with Erica, like, just kind of, oh, this is a happy couple. And then right after, in the midst of this, the same 2 weeks, Y-Refi comes in as the #1 sponsor for Charlie Kirk's fall tour. This is a total Israel-coded company. And
let's say it is.
It was weird because they had already signed a contract from January through December for all of their events, but now they doubled down. What catalyzed that like sudden addendum to their contract? Like, yes, we want more. We're going to come in for this speaking tour that you're now going to do. And the first one's going to be at UVU, and me, the CEO, is going to travel with you at this event. Okay, that seems a bit weird. And then it dawned on me, I totally forgot something. Okay. And I'm just going to have to ask Tucker for forgiveness for sharing this because I knew that there was something bothering me about this Maine vacation.
I guarantee you never talked to Tucker before this moment.
And I think I blacked out after Charlie's assassination and didn't remember that I went up to Maine too. I went up to Maine with my husband.
You forgot that you also went there? Okay.
Been in July. Okay. My son was born on May 1st. We were off air. And then the first thing I did was I went with my newborn Roman and my husband up to Maine to do Tucker's show. And I did an interview, and I genuinely forgot about this. Like I genuinely forgot about this. And we went in on the topic of Israel. I'm just going to show you a little 10-second clip here so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Since the 80s, Jeffrey Epstein has been working for Israel. I don't know how I know that, and Trump and Pam Bondi don't, but they got to bring me in. Like, I might have some evidence here.
Do we have proof that he actually worked for Israel, or that he just like lied about it, or that he's like, I don't know, maybe part of a cult that came out of Israel or something like that, or maybe he's a cult that's like got some Israeli people that are kind of involved, and he's also, because I mean, Jeffrey Epstein has like fingers in every single country. You know what I mean? I don't think that would make Israel any more off limits than the other countries that he also has his fingers in. So I don't know. I haven't seen Epstein just go, oh yeah, Israel first. Pretty sure he has freaks in every single country across the planet minus maybe a few countries that are like almost impossible to get to. Like there are a few countries that exist out there that like you literally cannot get to without either scaling a mountain by foot or by taking a very, very, very shady, like old school aircraft ride over a mountain into another country. There's like crazy places like that. So maybe he doesn't have his fingers there, but 99% of countries, Jeffrey Epstein has people in. You know what I mean? That are just freaks. Not exactly that hard, especially nowadays with or most of the time with Jeffrey Epstein finding people probably through the internet, to be honest. Like from what? 1999 to 2018, I'm sure he made a crazy, crazy network on the internet.
Right? It's like, so we're getting to a point now.
You're going to have tough confirmation hearings.
I just want them to say F you. Like, seriously, that would feel better at this point if they just came out and said, F you, na boo boo, you can't touch us, we rule over you, haha. That would feel at least authentic. Going back to
wow, that's so great, Candace.
Kill Lorenz thing. You know, I'd be like, I really don't like that, but at least it's authentic and I know you mean it and it's true.
Good guy.
All totally fair.
Yeah.
Does any of, I mean, to the extent that we can project forward and guess, does any of this come out? I mean, to a greater extent than it has? I mean, is there ever like a public resolution of this story?
No, because Israel's controlling our government. So no, the answer is no. Trump is
any proof to back that claim, though? Like, come on. Like, we're making some serious claims here. And I just want a little bit of evidence to, have it back, dude. It wouldn't be so hard, right?
Powerless against him. We haven't had, I don't think we've been a sovereign nation since they shot JFK. And when I say they, it's like people online say, what do you mean by they? I'm talking about Israel. I don't want you guys to read it between. I'm talking about Israel. So let's stop making that a taboo subject because they've gone mask down. Everything they're doing is.
You should prove that Israel had anything to do with JFK. I would really like some evidence on that, Candace.
Demonic. I want nothing to do with it. I will never support Israel into the future after what they've done to these children.
Like how in the world, at that point in time too, like at the time that JFK got assassinated, Jordan controlled like a portion of Israel. Like they had taken over, controlled a portion of them. They didn't have very much funds. They were fighting their own battles. Israel was in a pretty tough spot in 1964. I think it was from 1962 to 1967. Jordan controlled a portion of Israel. When did control parts of Israel? Oh wow. It was a lot longer than I thought. 1948 to 1967, Jordan controlled parts of the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Okay. Yeah. So not exactly the easiest time for Israel to be able to plot in a presidential assassination on the United States when part of their country was literally under control by a government that they would probably much rather focus on assassinating their king or president or whatever they had at the time. Dictator, whoever was in charge of Jordan at that time. I think they probably would have wanted him dead first, if I had to guess, and they didn't even have the means to do that. So, I don't know. Because Israel was not in a great position in 1948. I can tell you that. They weren't in a great position in 1964. I don't think they would have been capable of doing such things. They're in so much of a better position today than they ever were back in the 60s and the 50s and 40s. Pretty rough times for Israel back then. I just don't see how they could have set something up like that within our own United States government. But, hey, maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, you should, show a bunch of proof and debunk, everybody's doubts.
The starvation campaign. I don't care.
I promise you, I forgot that. I forgot that I had this. I forgot that I went up to Maine until I was looking at this Erica speech. And I was like, I know what is bothering me about this speech. What's bothering me about this speech is that when I got off air with Tucker, obviously you just have chatter, like just chatter in the air, okay. Like about everything you just discussed and what's happening and everything we said there. We're talking about Epstein. And Tucker said to me, and I'm obviously, I'm not going to get this verbatim, but he was like, yeah, he talked about a SAS speech and he just said they're taking money from Charlie because of this whole speech. And I was like, yeah, Charlie's kind of coming over to our side. He's really had an awakening about this.
Oh, yeah. So you said that, but you said it off air? That's convenient, Candace. That's very convenient. You didn't say it in the podcast. You said it off air? Okay, that's cool. That's a really convenient thing to say. Fox McCloud 69 for $5 says, my biggest problem with all the conspiracy theories is that it is that wouldn't it be easier to get Charlie while he's on the toilet or going for a jog? Yes. Yeah, probably. Especially if you're like an assassin, you probably wouldn't want it to be as publicly done. Why make a public spectacle out of something that you don't want people to find out that you did? Why not make it like somebody who was tracking Charlie or something like that? Someone who was really obsessed with Charlie, take him out. I don't know. I think that's probably the smarter idea. You're probably right about that. But yeah, who knows? Who knows, really? I mean, anything's possible. I just want proof. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for that 5, man. I really appreciate that.
It's crazy that I forgot this, but it's the second part of what he said to me. He said, I just had dinner with him and Erica. They were just here. I think he said like last night. I kid you not. They were just there in Maine having dinner with Tucker. I remember this. I am 1000% certain. Days within me, it was like Charlie was there and then I was there. And he had dinner with Erica and he said something, which is the reason why I was happy when they announced that Erica was going to be CEO, because before...
Really? Let's hear it, Candace, because this is the first time you've ever decided to mention this, and it's almost been a year now.
We could have ever known that Charlie was going to be assassinated, as we were sitting here in Maine talking about Israel and Epstein and what the pressure that Charlie was under. Tucker was like, I absolutely love Erica. He said this publicly 1,000 times, so I'm not revealing anything here. And he was like, she is like hardcore on the anti-Israel train.
Really? I'm sure you have proof to back that claim, right?
And that she had gone in on dinner about everything, and that, you know, this is who Erica was. And I was like, oh wow, like I actually never got to spend that kind of time with her. Like I know Charlie's coming on the other side, but I never really speak to Erica like that. And they had this dinner in the midst of all of this sass stuff, and I happened to be in Maine.
Hold on. So now you're telling me that Erica Kirk was super anti-Israel, but now she's super pro-Israel? And you've been attacking Erica Kirk this whole time? And what you're telling me, for that to have happened, that means that the Israeli people ended Charlie, then somehow convinced Erica to be pro-Israel. I wonder how they would have done that, Candace. You mean to tell me that they would have threatened her, probably? And you've been mean to her this whole time? Wow. And you accused her of being in on the murder, and you accused her of being this awful person from childhood, doxed her entire childhood, doxed her mother, doxed her stepdads and stuff like that. And then what could have actually ended up happening was something that I said a long time ago and kept saying, hey, if you were correct, for all you know, maybe Erica Kirk came to after Charlie was ended, and they were like, hey, we just took out your husband. You and your kids are next if you don't play along. And you were like, no, I don't believe that. Erica Kirk is a black widow. She had him killed. She's evil and stuff like that. And now you're saying that Erica Kirk was anti-Israel with Charlie. But after the assassination, for some reason, she's pro-Israel now. Well, that's interesting. So why did you start off with the narrative of how evil Erica was? It's almost like you can't get your crap together, Candace, at all. Your story shifts so much. And then you're like, oh, by the way, I heard that Erica for the first time ever, and like, since Charlie's been gone for almost a year now. And for the first time, you're telling us, oh yeah, I just remembered that Erica was very anti-Israel. I mean, that's such a very convenient thing to forget. Crazy we only just now heard about this, huh, guys?
And when I look at that and I plot that on the timeline, it convinces me that Erica is a psychopath.
Okay. So after Charlie was killed and then she became pro-Israel, it's Erica that's the psychopath. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to follow this one. Okay, you're going to need to explain a lot here, Candace.
Genuinely convinces me that Erica's a psychopath because, and please, Tucker, forgive me. I had to share that. I know you like her. I know you're a fan of...
Please, Tucker, forgive me. I made up a story. Please, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't say anything bad about it. Repeat this video a couple times so you memorize it, Tucker. Just so we don't get cross-information here, bad. You know, bad cross-information. That's what I meant to say, but yeah.
Erica, I know we have different opinions and different perspectives, but this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense that Erica...
No, you're right. This doesn't make sense, Candace, and you need to show some proof to make it make sense.
Erica gets on stage and is pro-Israel, blinks and is at dinner and is anti-Israel, more anti-Israel than Tucker. I mean, than Charlie, as we're talking about all this Epstein stuff and Charlie's under pressure.
Yeah, she's so anti-Israel that she was going to name her, if she had 2 sons instead of a son and a daughter, she was going to end up naming them Zeke and Kyle. You know what I mean? That's how anti-Israel she was, apparently.
And then as soon as Charlie passes away, she's up on stage with Barry Weiss saying anybody that doesn't support Israel has brain rot. That's a psychopath. That is somebody who can be someone else in every room. And we have told this story over and over again about Erica. She literally just commutes her entire personality depending on who she's in front of. Like there is no personality. It's who.
Okay, so you made all this up. You have provided 0 evidence. You say that she was pro-Israel and anti-Israel, and then pro-Israel again. And then she was also so anti-Israel, that she was definitely going to name her sons Zeke and Kyle, which is still one of my favorite jokes I think I've ever said that I will take full credit for. I did come up with that, and I've not found anybody else who has said that. So, kudos there. That is now mine. I invented it. I invented Zeke and Kyle. It's so stupid. But yeah, anyway, Candace, you just lie. You just make stuff up. Come on. Like, provide some proof. Fox McCloud here for the 5 says, when Israel wanted to get rid of a nuclear scientist, they used AI and a machine gun. Look it up. Why would they do something so public? I'm not sure what you mean. When Israel wanted to get rid of a nuclear scientist, they used AI and a machine gun. Look it up. Oh, I see what you're saying. They used AI and a machine gun. Then you would say, then you told me to look it up. And then ask, why would they do something so public? Exactly. Why? That doesn't make any sense why governments would make anything public. It really should just be private, quick, done. Left is a mystery, and then nobody knows. Has no ends, no trails, no leads, nothing. That would be way, way more efficient. And thank you so much for that, man. MTX says, Charlie was coming over to our side, quote unquote. She is absolute filth. When does it get classified as necrophilia? That's a good question, because the body should definitely be cold, and she's still milking it. Like, it's unbelievable. It really is. It's pretty sick. It's very, 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 very sick and disgusting, to say the least. Candace Owens is so full of crap. I really, really... Oh, we're in a tornado watch? Oh, great. Really? Okay, let me see what's going on here real quick. I just got a notification. I'm just going to make sure so we don't have a nadir blow in and... Oh! Ooh, there's some serious stormage. Okay. Oh, these are all serious isolated storms. Oh, good. There's a tornado in Topeka, Kansas right now, too. Or near Topeka. It's over north of Manhattan. So if you're north of Manhattan in Kansas, pay attention to the weather. Just letting you guys know. Really pay attention to it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad out there. Anyway, sorry, guys. So, yeah, Candace Owens, you're so full of crap. Like, back your claim.
Who is the audience? I'm a Catholic if I'm in the back of a church and I'm with this donor who's got a lot of money and stays.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your fantasy in the back of a church with a donor, Candace. I'm not really that interested. How about you show evidence to back your claim?
He taps on their shoulder, and I share how Charlie was about to become Catholic, and then the woman, as I shared with you guys, gets on a plane, brings back a relic of Saint Michael, because Erica's so hardcore Catholic, and then she blinks and she instructs Andrew Colvetz to deny what I said about Charlie in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, you should provide proof.
Like, literally the next week, she okays Alex Clark coming out and saying I'm a liar.
Yeah, you're a liar. I agree. Provide proof.
Erica's a psychopath.
Oh, okay. She's a psychopath. Provide proof.
This is like, it just dawned on me. She was playing this game while Charlie was alive.
Show us proof.
And if I didn't do this timeline, if I didn't remember that I was in Maine having this casual conversation when...
It's just so convenient that you made this up because you just happened to remember, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I remember. Erica Kirk was anti-Israel and then became pro-Israel and then was anti-Israel again and then was pro-Israel. Sure, Candace, sure. It just makes so much sense. It's just so believable.
Everybody was friends and Charlie was alive and Charlie was under a lot of pressure. I probably would not have reflected on this little tidbit.
Wow, that's just so amazing. I just discovered this amazing piece of the story that I never once mentioned because I just conveniently forgot it and made it up.
That proves
cool.
that Erica's a psychopath. She's not.
It proves it? Really? That proves it? You making up a story proves that? Okay.
She wasn't a grieving widow in August and July. Okay? She wasn't.
Okay, but that never happened. You made it up. Jennifer Jennifer joins as a member. Thank you so much.
A grieving widow. She was a manipulative psychopath who puts on a different outfit, a different costume, depending on what play she has to put on. Okay? That's just like an established fact that Erica she has demonstrated.
So now you've established it. You've just decided, okay, I made up a story. I claim that Erica Kirk is now a psychopath, and now I've just established it because she's just a psychopath now. I'm just going to make it up. It's established because Candace says so, with no evidence.
Cool. Over and over again the attributes of a psychopath. I'm with Tucker. I'm anti-Israel.
Yeah, sure. MTX for the 5 says she just admitted that if Erica was anti-Israel, then she'd be happy she was CEO. That's all it's about, and this is what they talk about in private? Yeah, exactly. She was excited that she would be anti-Israel because she's, oh, good. And, Charlie Kirk got taken out. He was pro-Israel, but now we need an anti-Israel Israel position instead of Charlie's position. Yeah, Candace Owens is the psychopath here. She's projecting. And the reason why I could say that is because you called somebody a psychopath without proof. You said that they were anti-Israel without proof. And you thought it was a sane thing to do live on the air in front of millions of people and not provide a shred of evidence to back your claim. Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
I'm with Barry Weiss. People who don't support Israel have brain rot. I'm with an Egyptian pastor. I love Israel. There's conflict here because of a call to arms. That's not normal.
Okay, says the normal amount of people in the United States that support Israel, but okay.
How weird if you had learned that after doing this podcast, I was just yucking it up with Ben Shapiro, talking about how much I love his yarmulke growing. You'd be like, that's weird. And
how can it be a tiny head if it's growing? Nice face.
Oh, I was like, oh gosh, these like terrible Palestinians. They don't have a right to any land. Who are they? They don't even exist. Palestine doesn't exist.
Maybe they should stop attacking Israel, and maybe Israel would let them exist. You get to exist if you don't attack. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like when somebody attacks me, I'll definitely make them not exist anymore because you don't have that right to do that. So, I don't know. Maybe they should stop attacking Israel. Kimberly Gonzalez has joined. Thank you so much.
Would register to you that I was a psychopath because it's hard to do that. It's hard to perform in front of people.
You're doing a pretty good job, I'd say. You're actually doing a pretty decent job of performing, Candace.
I don't understand genuinely, how Tucker can like her. I don't.
Well, it's because that didn't happen.
I don't. And maybe it's because he is usually off on a boat fishing, doesn't watch or a lot of podcasts. Highly doubt that he is watching the timeline and the conflicting Ericas.
Really? Is that why you had to apologize to him on your stream to make sure that he knew that you were so sorry that you aired that story, but he's not going to watch it anyway? So, okay, that was performative, right? Dance. Just dance. You know what I mean? That's crazy how that works. Texas Motherbird is now a troll. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that.
She does it all the time. She's graduated school. She's not graduated school. Everything she says is in conflict with the thing.
Like you, Candace. You said you graduated college and you didn't. And we have absolute proof of that. You never graduated.
That she said yesterday because there is no personality. Elizabeth Lane clocked her correctly. She is whatever she needs to be on her way to empowerment.
This is the shout-out channel right now for Candace. Now she's shouting out Elizabeth Lane. She's really trying to empower all these people, huh?
She was not a grieving widow. So I'm going to have to politely request that you already shut up in trying to defend why it would be that
Candace is getting mad. She's getting mad that she knows she doesn't have anything else. So she's like, I'm going to invent a story and then I'm going to tell her to shut up.
She was being two different people within 1 week when she should have just been anti because of how her husband was being treated behind the scenes. Okay? Just got to get that off my chest.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
What follows that is August 5th to 6th, the Hamptons retreat. I mean, this timeline's crazy to look at to me now. Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because it's so inaccurate. Only a crazy person would post it live in front of people. By the way, guys, for anybody new here, I do got the memberships rolled out. If you're super duper new here, please definitely give me a like and subscribe. Yeah, we're doing some membership stuff now. It's going to be fun. For now, we're starting off with stickers. And then once I get to 500 members, we're going to be doing once a day members-only videos. And then after we get to 1,000 people that are members, we're going to do member-only live streams after every regular live stream. I'm not cutting out the normal live streams, but it'll be an extra live stream at the end of it. Because, you know, as long as I can get memberships growing, then I'll be able to step away, take time away from the job. And instead of doing that, I'll be working for you guys. So we'll be doing extra stuff, longer live streams, things like that. Right now, if you join as a member too, though, you do get early access to my videos. So I am going to make that happen. I'm going to try and figure all that out, exactly how it's going to go down, but we're going to make that stuff happen that way. Thank you all so much for being here. MTX for the 2. Erica has talked about being Catholic as a child. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely she has. She grew up Catholic. I think she was Catholic all the way up until, like, up until she got with Charlie, maybe. I don't know when she converted.
See, Hamptons Retreat Intervention, the influencer sponsored by Bill Ackman, who just was mentioned on stage about the
back your claim
Epstein stuff, not about the Epstein stuff,
just
pardon me.
Back your claim,
but in relation to him asking questions, Tucker asking questions about Israel and where certain money's coming from, he brings up Bill Ackman, his wealth. This also caused panic on the back end. This is Charlie's summit that Charlie himself described as an intervention that Erica was present at, but she would allow people to lie. Bibi calls him, offers to take Turning Point to the next level in exchange for what? We still don't know, but Charlie declines. Charlie says no to Bibi. Trump, I believe, said yes. Trump said yes.
You believe it? Who gave you the information? Do you have proof?
Charlie said no. My opinion, I'm sticking to it.
Oh, okay, so your opinion is going to help solve this case now. Cool.
Especially after reading that Epstein piece. Especially after what Tucker has revealed about Butler. This is all Israel.
Tucker didn't reveal anything about Butler. He got debunked completely. He completely got debunked. Tucker said that Trump shut down the investigation, according to Dan Bongino. Then Dan Bongino showed the text messages to where that never even came up and was never even suggested. So you got completely debunked.
Coded. It makes sense. It is in our face. The puzzle has been coming together forever. It's the very first thing they lied about was to protect Israel. No one would have cared if his opinion was shifting on Israel because it could just be, that's allowed. But all the lies that were told about it.
Prove it.
Yeah, that means it's a clue.
It's not a clue.
Then August 15th, Erica goes to the Aspen Investor Retreat, but she doesn't actually go to the meeting, even though she's, I guess, going to be CEO or whatever. And Charlie just appoints Erica a couple of weeks before he dies, changing his mind on everything he's ever said, every position he's ever held about women. That's not right, okay? That timeline is not right. We're already at 36 minutes. And I haven't even gotten to telling you about the FOIA response. You know, Dom, let's take a quick break here. We'll go to ads, and then we'll come back and discuss Bradley Hansel and this bizarre response that we got back. We'll be right back.
Let's see it now.
All right, you guys, right for Melvin and Bradley to slots that are a plan. You got my word sent. Stay good. And you guys know that I thoughtful you special rotation hand day retail audit.
Good God, how long are these
advertisements? Here, you heard about Cozy Earth right here.
There we go.
I see Marcia in the comments here. She says, Erica is not a psychopath. She is a sociopath. I strongly push back on that because a sociopath is able to relate to people socially. Okay. They wouldn't have made the same mistakes that Erica has made. And this is why her press has been a disaster, because just as Elizabeth Lane spelled out when she wrote that really long tweet about what makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah, her real name, I'm calling Elizabeth Lane Ivana from now on. Her name is now Ivana.
Is that she doesn't know, her face doesn't know how to match the expressions, the feelings that she's having. She doesn't know how to behave normally.
So behave. Good timing with Ivana. That's amazing. I did not pre-watch this. That's awesome. Oh, behave. Oh, absolutely amazing.
Sociopath can do that. They can like, you know, emulate humanity. They would know, like, maybe 6 days after your husband gets shot in the neck, you shouldn't be able to jump on a Zoom call. You don't have to have guidance or PR to tell you that that's not normal.
Okay, Candace, I don't care what you think is normal or not. Okay, just because she went and got onto a Zoom call and tried to get everybody at TPUSA calmed down and like, hey, we're gonna definitely do some stuff and I'm gonna take over as CEO and we're gonna fight this. That doesn't mean it's not normal, Candace. Like, not giving in to the people who ended her husband is, I would say, pretty brave and pretty like, I don't know, how would I put it? Like, it's pretty stellar, I would say. You know what I mean? Fox McCloud for the 10 says the CIA could monitor a downed pilot's heartbeat to rescue him. But we're supposed to believe they couldn't grab Charlie while he was jogging. They had to do it at a college full of students. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just cope at this point. It's cope that people want to keep defending Candace because all Candace Owens is interested in doing is raking in millions and millions of dollars off of Charlie Kirk's body. That's what she's doing. Let me go ahead. This boy wants to go outside. I'll be right back. I'm going to play this real quick. I'll still be able to hear it.
Beyond that, she was in the office immediately. Within 2 days, Erica was back in the office, walking around, bringing her kids there. That's a psychopath. To be able to just like float between emotions, but also to not understand human emotions.
You mean like you, Candace? You mean like you, how you do that?
Emotions. In every room, Erica is someone different. The ability to lie to my face in the way that she lied to my face.
Prove she lied to your face.
About saying that Andrew Colvett went rogue.
Prove it.
Me discovering this like random conversation that I had with Tucker, remembering this random conversation, like genuinely, my little sister, she told me, obviously, what I was not eating, I was not sleeping after Charlie got killed, and then I was like almost tricking myself into.
I like that one, Mr. Wrong. The CIA did end Charlie. The Candace Intelligence Agency? Yeah, probably, actually. Yeah, I think you're dead on with that one.
Believing that he might be alive, like genuinely going through every stage, including bargaining, and thinking he was actually being held somewhere and maybe in like protection because Trump would not let this happen, whatever. And my sister said to me, she's like, when you experience something like this, somebody that someone that you're close to dying in the way that they died, like it damages your brain. Like you're not even, I can't remember certain things that happened right after. And I totally forgot that I went to Maine. Like I have been doing this timeline forever. I've been wondering, like trying to figure out like, oh, when were they in Maine? And then suddenly it dawned on me, Candace, you were in Maine.
Wow. All of a sudden I just remembered this and now I'm going to make up an entire story that can't be corroborated. It's so convenient.
You were in Maine and you just like, I promise you, Tucker must have said, I just had dinner like the night before with Charlie and Erica or 2 nights before with Charlie and Erica. Like I just.
You know what's funny is, you know who else forgot about it too? Charlie Kirk forgot about it, apparently, because he never mentioned it. Erica Kirk forgot about it, apparently, because she never mentioned it. And Tucker Carlson forgot about it, too, because he didn't mention it. That's so crazy. It's like almost like it didn't happen.
Came in. I might have even like texted Charlie to see if he was still in Maine. I have to check. And it just dawned on me that that's what is weird. Erica was anti-Israel.
Prove it.
And that is the reason why I was relieved because I instantly thought things were weird.
And you didn't say that at the beginning, like, oh, this is great. Erica's going to take over because she's not going to let Israel, continue with this stuff, right? You just never mentioned that at the time. You never mentioned why you were pro Erica Kirk taking over as CEO. See, the thing about it is I've been calling this out for a while. For a long time, I've been calling out how Candace Owens started off so pro Erica Kirk. And then all of a sudden she flipped. And we've been calling that out for months like, hey, it was weird. Then Candace finally goes, you know what? It would probably be a really good idea if I explained why I was pro Erica at first and then I changed my mind. That way it gets these people off my back. That's really what's going on right now. That's what Candace Owens is doing, is she's making up an excuse now as to why she flipped on a dime on Erica. Now she's just now getting around to, oh, I completely forgot, and there's this story, and I'm going to explain why I'm anti-Erica now when I wasn't anti-Erica at first. Too little too late, Candace. You could have explained this literally, let's see, it would have been November, so November, December, January, March, May, June. So 7 months ago, you could have explained this, and you only just now remembered why you were pro-Erica. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe you. I think you were pro-Erica to start because it was popular. And then as you saw that, hey, there could be some serious money made off throwing Erica under the bus, you decided that was the route to go.
Other people were involved in his assassination, didn't think his wife. But I was like, great, at least Erica will be skeptical of these people. And this girl was like, hey, Barry Weiss. Hey, Ben, you want to open at AmFest? We're going big. We're going into a deeper partnership with International Fellowship of Christian and Jews. The company, we blinked and the company turned into AIPAC under Erica's stewardship.
No, incorrect.
And she was not under duress. She's not under duress.
You don't know that either. You have no idea. You should back the things you claim. I know I know what's going right through her mind. I'm a mind reader. I'm Candace Owens. I sometimes go to bed in my footy PJs and accidentally have my butt flappy bathroom thing undone sometimes to let out some extra gas and whatnot. Off gas in bed, poor husband. And I'm just going to go to sleep and I'm going to read everyone's mind. And the next morning, I would have dreamed about Charlie Kirk and read everybody else's mind. That's what she'd have you believe.
Operating behind the scenes and calling all the shots. So I just need to express again that I truly believe she's a psychopath.
Yeah, I know. We know you truly believe it, Candace. That's the problem, is you believe things with no evidence. MTX for the 5 says she shared the video of Charlie praising women becoming CEOs and politicians, and Erica seemed to be non-denominational before and after Charlie. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Except for the Erica Kirk being non-denominational before Charlie. I have no idea because I haven't looked into it. But I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I have no idea when she became non-denominational. I'll look it up, though. I'll look it up. It doesn't matter if Charlie converted her. I'm fine with that. I don't really care. Candace just needs to back her claim. Like, it should not be this hard.
I really believe that the signs were there leading up to Charlie's assassination before she was a widow.
And you didn't see any of it, right?
Moving on to Bradley Hansel, okay? So just to remind you, he is Trump's appointed Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, one of the Pentagon's top intelligence officials responsible for overseeing defense intelligence and security matters all across the DoD, okay? We have been asking this question.
It's the DOW now, but yeah.
What exactly was he doing at Fort Huachuca in September, just before Charlie's assassination? Now, Fort Huachuca is not just some Army base. It is a major hub for military intelligence.
Every base is a hub for military intelligence.
Cyber operations could make sense that he's there, obviously. Networks and intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. And we were able to determine that he was on this multi-leg trip that revolved around Fort Huachuca. It just raises a lot of questions about who he was meeting with, right? On these dates that we were interested in.
Because probably some high-ranking generals. I'm going to go out and say probably the highest-ranking generals of Fort Huachuca. That's probably who he met with.
Because of the meeting that Mitch Snow stumbled upon, which we have proved he stumbled upon a meeting.
No, you didn't. You did not prove he stumbled upon a meeting. You proved he stayed in a hotel near Fort Huachuca. That's it. You have not proven he stumbled upon any kind of meeting. The best source of information you have was from Paramount Tactical whenever his son, his biological son, said, I received a phone call where they asked, like, the people from Fort Huachuca asked if I knew a Mitch Snow, and I was like, I don't, because his dad's name's Harry Myers, and he changed his name to Mitch Snow in, like, 2018 or something. He goes, I don't know, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they hung up. And that's pretty much it. And for all we know, maybe he showed up to Fort Huachuca and caused a little bit of a stink and got kicked out, or maybe he called Fort Huachuca, and then they were like, no, looked him up in the files and were like, let's find his emergency contact, see if he's well. And then gave his emergency contact a call, and his son was like, I don't know him, it's Snow. And they're like, okay, this is just weird. And then they hung up. We have no idea. He may have just showed up to the gate at Fort Huachuca and then got turned around. But we definitely don't have any evidence to know if he even made it to Fort Huachuca or not. He provided zero evidence. So now that you're coming out and lying and saying that you proved he stumbled upon a meeting, I would love evidence of that. Any kind of evidence, Candace, because you have not proven that.
We cannot yet definitively state that he saw who he saw. He believes he saw Brian Harpole.
Yeah, but you can't even definitively state that he made it to Fort Huachuca.
We have not seen any evidence to the contrary, despite openly and kindly reaching out to Brian Harpole asking for that information. What we got was a lawsuit, okay? Anyways, this is Bradley Hansel's itinerary for you guys so that you guys tracking this can take a look and to see where he went. He went from Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Obviously, that's right outside of D.C. And then he flew to Colorado Springs. Then he went from Colorado Springs and flew to...
By the way, Colorado Springs, amazing donuts at the very top of Pikes Peak. Oh, my God. Driving up Pikes Peak, I'll never do that again. I'll tell you that. That was probably the scariest thing I think I've ever done in my life. I had no idea that I would be teetering on a rickety, like, absolutely no guardrail mountain climb. Like, I'll never do that again. That was insane. Anybody ever drove up Pikes Peak before? Anybody in the audience? Because that's probably the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life.
Tucson, Arizona, the Air Force
Tucson.
Base at Davis-Monthan. And then he flew from Tucson to Fort Huachuca on a most crucial date.
Okay, cool.
September 8th. Okay. So this raises two obvious questions. Why the brief stop in Tucson, when Fort Huachuca is just like 50 miles away from Tucson, by the way? Who did he pick up? That's a pickup, right? I would assume that's a pickup. Who did Bradley Hansel pick up to continue to Fort Huachuca on September 8th? The very next day, on the 9th, that's the day where that meeting allegedly concluded, that Mitch Snow saw. That same plane then flies from Fort Huachuca to El Paso and arrives at 1:20 p.m. local, remains on the ground for 4 hours and 10 minutes, and then it returns back to Joint Base Andrews, just outside of D.C. Who did he drop off in Texas? That's another question, right?
Okay. Yeah, those are all questions. They're all fair questions so far, whatever. Okay. Maybe they're important. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's routine. Maybe he's just gathering information about, like, I don't know, border patrol or something like that, or military intervention with something like that. Who knows, right? Who actually knows? Could be important. Could be nothing. Could be related to Charlie. Could be nowhere near Charlie. I mean, what's the point of this? MTX, he says, for FFS, you know, this illiterate goatee still doesn't know Ben was at AmFest in 2024. Does Candace have a goatee? I don't know. Or were you to refer to someone else? There's a video of Charlie and Ben talking about AmFest in his last episode. I rage quit. Yeah. No, we definitely saw that last episode, which I think that makes Candace so jealous. I guarantee it. That Ben was like one of the last people Charlie to interview, and Candace didn't get the spot to interview. I probably burned her up pretty good. I think that made her very, very angry. And I'm just happy to be here for it.
These are registering to me like pick up and drop offs. Maybe he's landing for a meeting. Who's in those meetings?
Yeah.
Now,
maybe.
the timing of this makes Fort Huachuca.
Notice how the whole narrative from she just mentioned him. I keep forgetting him. Brian Harpole. There we go. Notice how the narrative completely changed from Brian Harpole definitely being on this flight to now, like, she doesn't know. That's kind of funny.
Stand out as the center of the trip, for one, because Bradley Hansel remained on the ground the longest there for 19 hours. That's the longest stop in his trip. He opted to stay overnight at Fort Huachuca.
Well, yeah, he just traveled across the entire freaking United States over the course of hours and hours and hours. I bet he probably wanted to sleep in a bed that night. You know, I don't blame the guy. He traveled quite a lot. And MTX for the 2 says her husband is Fruity Pebbles. She's a goatee. Oh, I see. I like that. Okay. Gotcha. And, you know, that's the first I heard of that one. That's pretty funny.
Before departing the next day for El Paso, he did a quick little 20-minute helicopter tour of the border on that morning as well, before he departed for El Paso. What was he doing there on the 8th? What was he doing there on the morning of the 9th? For comparison, when I say that was a very long stay there relative to the rest of his trip, in Tucson and El Paso, he was only on the ground for 4 hours.
Yeah, that's a whole day. Like 4 hours there, 4 hours on the other place. So 8 hours. And then he gets to Tucson. And then he stays there, does his meeting for probably like 3 or 4 or 5 hours maybe. And then it's like, yeah, probably a good time for him to go to sleep. Yeah, are you counting? Are you adding these hours up, Candace? Like that Would you do that? Would you just pull, I guess maybe she'd just pop an Adderall and stay awake for 24 hours or something. I don't know.
Okay. 4-hour ground stop. And then he's on for a very long time. He's at Fort Huachuca. Colorado Springs was the second longest overnight stop. That was 16 hours. Okay. Also, of course, September 8th is significant because it's the day that Mitch Snow is convinced that he saw Erica Kirk at Fort Huachuca leaving a hotel. Okay. Well, what hotel did Bradley Hansel stay at on Fort Huachuca on the 8th? That's interesting. We'd like to know. So we decided to file an FOIA request for his travel logs. That's the beauty of everything being paid for by the tax dollars, is that we have this ability to file an FOIA request. Okay. Who did he pick up? That's what we wanted to know.
Well,
who was on board with Bradley Hansel? And we got a very unusual response. Now, we have been filing a lot of these requests. Like, we're going to be experts by the end of this. And we've heard, hey, you need to make your request more specific, or hey, this department doesn't have your request. This is the first time that we've been told we're number 3,000 on a list and we're not going to be able to get back to you. We don't know when we're going to get back to you. Here's the exact language of the response that we received to figure out who was on this plane with Bradley Hansel from Tucson to Fort Huachuca. It reads, quote, although we have already begun processing your request, we will not be able to respond within the...
I'm gonna let her read all the highlighted stuff. I'll read the stuff after. This is an interim response to your June 8th, 2026 Freedom of Information Act. A request of a copy which is enclosed for your convenience. The Office of a copy of which is enclosed for your convenience? Is this saying that it actually ended up sending her the information? And Candace isn't wanting to show the rest of the information? She's just going to show this letter? That'd be kind of interesting, right? So this is an interim response to your June 8th, 2026 Freedom of Information Act request, a copy of which is enclosed for your convenience. Very interesting. By the way, I love my Aussie for $2 says Erica confuses her because Erica walks with Jesus. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. The Office of the Secretary of War, Joint Staff, OSW, JS, FOIA Requester Service Center, received your request on June 9th, 2026, and assigned it FOIA case number this. Well, I don't know why she blanked that out, because then what's the problem with that? We ask that you use this number when referring to your request. Okay. Now she reads this part.
FOIA's 20-day statutory time period, as there are unusual circumstances which impact our ability to quickly process your request. The FOIA defines unusual circumstances as the need to search for and collect records from a facility that's geographically separated from this office, or B, the potential volume of the records responsive to your request. So A and B is not us. C, the need for consultation with one or more other agencies or the Department of War components having a substantial interest in either the determination or the subject matter of the records. Okay, let's read that again, because that's going to be us, right? We're not asking for a lot. We're asking...
I don't want you to read that again. I want you to move forward and read the rest of the stuff. I got it the first time. Fox McCloud for the 5 says, the first thing you do when hatching a conspiracy is to leave clues. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Especially ones with funny little blue paw prints. That's exactly what you do. Thank you so much, man.
For a travel log, who else is on this plane? So it's not too big. It's not because of the volume of records. It's not geographically separated from this office. He works for the Department of War, and the flight was booked from his office. I've confirmed that. Okay.
Okay.
So we're at C of why they can't honor this in 20 days. This would be the logical option C.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it again. Because of the need for consultation with one or more other agencies or the Department of War components having a substantial interest in either the determination or the subject matter of the records. At least one, if not more, of these scenarios apply, or would likely apply to your request. While this office does handle FOIA requests for the OSW, the JS, and other component offices, we do not actually hold their records. Okay, so they're going over the geographic thing. That's not us. We do not hold the record. They do hold these records. It's him. It says then that we are unable to estimate the potential volume of records. Okay, that's not us.
Wait. Hold on. Where did you jump ahead at?
Or this last one. Your request has been placed in our complex processing queue and is being worked on based on the order in which the request was received. Our current administrative workload is approximately 3,534 open requests.
Yeah. Okay, and? So they're a little behind on FOIA record requests right now. Probably a lot of people are making a bunch of different FOIA record requests from the federal government, probably from the Department of War. They're not talking about this specifically, but yeah, I mean, okay. I've been put in queues many times for many, many, many different reasons. Okay, so what's your issue?
This is an FOIA-FU.
Okay, that was stupid. I'm going to go back here real quick. It's 4756, so pretty much 40. I'll let it play to 48.
An FOIA-FU. That's what it is.
Great. I'm glad she repeated herself for that. Now I'm going to go back to the full letter so I can read the rest of it. If you have requested a fee waiver, please note that discussions to waive your fee are... Okay, I don't care about that. Okay, never mind. I don't need to read that. It's just about, like, if you have customer service issues, please call, get a hold of it. That's it. Okay.
I didn't know we could file for that. We did. Apparently we received it. FOIA-FU, Candace.
Great, Candace. Great.
Oh, really? Yeah. We have to talk to some other departments about your request, and that could take a while because they have an interest in why you want to know who was on Sam 702 and Bradley's plane. And that just means that we don't have to do the 20-day thing, which is like by law. But then there's this little carve out that says that if we have to communicate to other agencies, like maybe the FBI, Kash Patel, I don't know, Trump, the executive office, year number 3,534 FOIA-FU, Candace. Weird.
It's not really weird, but okay.
First time we've seen it.
Okay, cool.
Guys, I'm happy to report that we are number 3,534th in line.
Cool. Congrats.
To never receive a request from the government about who was on that plane to Fort Huachuca.
I really genuinely hope that they actually do get her that request in like a week or so, and it just completely blows the doors down, and Candace is like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong. That would be kind of funny. But we'll see what happens. Mandy for the 5 says, the entitlement is wild. She thinks she is entitled to the front of the queue because she is Candace Owens. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. It's amazing, but that is who Candace Owens is.
Absolutely stunning. Truly stunning. I can't believe we're at 51 minutes, guys. We're like not even going to be able to cover everything else. Like we're like, it's already late today, and my daughter has a little bit of a fever. So let's we'll do
better whip that nanny into shape.
We'll do another ad break, and then I'm going to get to some of your comments. We'll be
All right,
back.
let's watch the
comments. All right, you guys,
here.
for 2 watching
that was amazing.
A while ago. Check out. That's zeroghost.com/Candace with promo code Candace at checkout.
Go Ghost.
Sorry, I was just asking something.
Going Ghost
that we pulled a while ago that of Erica at the end of the recent Leader Women's Summit event. It's I guess Women's Summit event. Yeah, no worries. Let me know if you can pull it. If not, no big deal. We can always just save it for Monday. But it just further illustrates my point about like her changing face of emotions. Like she doesn't know how to emote correctly or why people find her to be strange because she doesn't have any experience with these emotions. And that it just strikes me as so odd. I'm so bothered by that trip to Maine. And I'm bothered because there's no intent. It was just like people just talking about what was going on. Everybody's friends. Nothing against Erica. I was like, oh, amazing. Well, whatever. And that was what was in the back of my head when I was at first relieved because I was like, she will look into whether or not there was an Israel angle here.
Yeah, see, I think I got it here. It's the Yeah, there we go.
And we got the exact opposite thing. Anyway, I want to shout us out. I want to give a special shout out to my producer, Ashley, who worked really hard. I do want to clear up some rumors, though, because some people were alleging that it was a CVS receipt when we showed Larry Loomer's receipt. That is fake news. It's conspiracy. That was a true Loomer receipt. We were happy to have Loomer here. And we're grateful that X picked up the trend and recognized that Larry Loomer was in office. Check this out. On X, Loomer confronts Owens on show over Kirk conspiracy theories. We were very happy to be joined by Larry Loomer. She appeared in person, X tells us, on show to debunk her theories, debunk my theories. It also says that Owens mocked Loomer's receipts with a clown emoji and a fake long receipt clip, while Loomer called it cringe. So that's just... It wasn't fake. It was real. We're just trying to keep track of all of Loomer's receipts because she kind of lets them go. And we had time. And so we really thank Larry Loomer for joining us. Top comment from yesterday's episode, by the way. Kaylee said, my day does not feel complete until I hear Candace hit us with the classic. All right, you guys. I don't know why I always say that. Just feels right. All right, you guys. Is it all right? I don't know, but it is when you're watching this show.
Introspective. Thank you for joining.
This user writes, breaking news. Ivanka just told her dad that the Albanians are too...
Dang, so many people joined the membership so quick. Thank you guys so much for that. We'll get back... We'll cover the membership stuff again here right after this.
Away from having a nuclear bomb. I bet they are. That sounds right to me. That seems like the next logical step of the story. Because, if you want the land, then they're probably working on a nuke. That'll help the narrative. I believe her. I believe Ivanka. She had the aura sound behind her. So, I'm team Ivanka. Oh, great. My producers were able to pull the Erica clip. This is like the end of her speech when she got heckled and called a pedophile protector. A lot of emotions happening in her face.
Thank you, Fairchild Alexander, for joining. Thank you so much, man.
Anyway, take a listen.
Character, all right. A fixed disposition that radiates through actions. Every choice made for a good reason makes a good mark in your soul. Every choice made for a bad reason makes a bad mark in your soul. And one day, all of this, this life, every win, every
that makes
loss,
me so uncomfortable.
The criticism.
What makes you uncomfortable, Candace? You could probably iterate that a little better. Mandy for the 2 says Nitro Circus is at the White House. If you know, you know. Nitro Circus, is that a band? Oh, really? That's crazy. Are they like sponsoring the UFC thing? Oh, I guess they are. Yeah. Photos, UFC, Freedom 250, and Nitro Circus. So Nitro Circus is doing the thing right now. That's super cool. They're the guys who like do all the crazy like dirt bikes in the like the dangerous like steel ball that they like drive around and do all that crazy stuff, right? I haven't heard of Nitro Circus or thought about Nitro Circus since I was like 10 years old. That's crazy. How long has Nitro Circus been around for? It is, because I remember them coming to the BOK Center once. 2003. So I wasn't quite 10. I would have been 11. Never mind. The same thing. I was 11 years old last time I saw it because I remember the advertisements for the Nitro Circus going on. They had they rented out the entire BOK Center, filled it with dirt. You know, I mean, like they do for the monster truck shows. I haven't seen a Nitro Circus show advertised in so long, though. That's crazy.
The heartbreak, the joy, and the sorrow. It'll all be reduced to dust. But what you etched in your soul remains forever. So build a life that can survive eternity. Welcome to the Women's Leadership Summit. We're so grateful. God bless you all.
What was wrong with this, Candace?
It's like a really bad daytime soap opera acting. Like, why was she shaking? No.
Okay.
One day, what etches in your soul will be forever in your soul. You will take it.
Candace, I get it. You want to have opinions and all. But can we try to stick to facts ever? Ever? Can you ever provide a single fact ever in your show? It would make things a lot easier to stomach.
Dust. Welcome to the Women's Leadership Summit. That's weird. It's weird. It's not authentic. It's practiced. It's rehearsed. It's not written by you. It's obvious. This is not how people speak.
I mean, she spoke like that. She clearly did.
Normal. Stop shaking your head no while you're saying yes.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into comments from today's episode. We're already running over time.
That was pointless.
I'm completely inappropriate.
That was stupid.
Tucker, forgive me. I hope you're fine with me sharing that. It literally...
No, it's okay, Candace. Tucker doesn't watch podcasts. Remember, you don't have to say anything about that.
Just came to my head right before we went live, and I was like, this is what bothers me about July. I totally forgot. Erica was anti-Israel in July. Allegedly.
Allegedly now. Allegedly now. You have no shame, Candace. If I come out, okay, and I know a fact about somebody, I don't have to stop with allegedly, ever. I never have to say allegedly. If somebody tells me something and I go and say it, it's like, hey, no, I remember this happening. Now you got to put allegedly on there because you know you could get sued because you're full of crap.
Zamet writes, this 4th of July, let's all remember that it's we the people and not we the elites. President Trump, please resign if you have any dignity left. He has no dignity left. There's no point.
Oh, he has no dignity left. You just admitted that he may be a hostage to Israel. And now it's like, oh, he doesn't have dignity left. So at first it was, oh, well, this was a warning. We're going to kill you. We're going to harm your family, stuff like that. But he has no dignity left. Okay. You can't make your mind up, can you? You know how awful it would look if you were actually correct that Donald Trump was like, taken hostage essentially and is just trying to not have his family killed off? And then you're sitting there calling Trump the bad guy? That's a pretty terrible look. Like, that's what you believe. You believe that Trump was taken hostage. And you believe that Trump is at fault for that. That's some crazy victim blaming, isn't it? Wow.
He's just going to do what he's told to do. He has no courage. Forget the dignity. He's a coward.
Yeah, especially whenever they're like, hey, let's execute this, like, grandbaby of yours right in front of you. Yeah, sure. That would be Trump being a coward. You actually told us that that's what you believe now, but you're going to call him a coward for that. I guess if that were to happen to you, right, and they had all 4 of your kids out in front of you, you'd be like, guess what? I don't care. That's how brave you would be, right, Candace? Go ahead and take their lives right in front of me, right? What a wonderful woman Candace would be to be friends with, huh? She'd throw you under the bus so fast.
Ali writes, Tucker recently said TPUSA didn't invite him this year. It adds to the theory that they took out Charlie because he gave Tucker a platform and was abandoning Israel.
Tucker was on for 2025. They could have removed him, but they didn't. They allowed him to speak. And then Tucker has been pretty vicious towards TPUSA, so I wouldn't let him come back either.
They had to keep him for AmFest 2025 because Charlie publicly fought his donors over Tucker.
If they didn't want Tucker to be a part of it that badly, after they ended Charlie, they could have just removed him.
There was no question they were going to, push out Tucker, push out Meghan. I don't like I said, that it just has no energy behind it anymore. It's just over. The organization died with Tucker. Died with Charlie, pardon me. Sarah writes, TPUSA tactics, come on, Dan. Although you imagine what he had to do or agree to be able to get back to his podcast. Yeah, it was just weird. Like, he's just angry. He's like yapping and like, you're not saying anything of substance. You're not debunking Tucker. And just this tough guy act of like, you think I can't beat up Tucker? Like, that is so played out that Tucker's not going to fight you. Like,
cool, but he did debunk Tucker with the text messages, so you're wrong. Good try, though. Grits for the 20 says, boomers born in 54 to 65 are Jen Jones. We aren't like the older boomers. We face similar struggles the current generation faces. Inflation, fuel shortages, high unemployment, stagnant wages, 18% mortgage interest rates. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of figured that there would be because like there's a bit of a difference between like millennials from the 90s and millennials from the 80s. The millennials from the 80s tend to be a lot less woke than the millennials of the 90s, And then obviously the good news about that is Gen Z then kind of brings it back a little bit more. But man, people that were born in 92, 93, and 94, they're probably some of the worst liberals that they're probably the pinnacle of unbearable liberal. I am so lucky that I didn't end up that way. If I weren't born in Oklahoma, I would probably be a screaming, freaky liberal, And I'm just so glad that I was born here. This state has definitely saved my life, I think. But that's just my opinion on it, though. Maybe I would never have turned that way. Maybe I would have always had common sense. But who knows? Who knows what would have happened? Andy for the 5 says, "What is she even talking about? They are signing a deal. The planes are moving to Switzerland. Benny Johnson just dropped a report. I'll have to take a look at that for sure. But yeah, Candace is full of crap. Thank you so much, Grits, and thank you so much, Mandy. I really appreciate that. This is going to be a wild read-off whenever I get off here tonight. I got a lot of members to call. Yeah, or not call, but call out, or shout out on here. That's the proper term. I'm an 80s baby. Yeah, exactly. The 80s babies managed to make it. They managed to not get so far down the extreme left-wing rabbit hole there. So, it's pretty crazy.
What are you talking about? He wears boat shoes and goes fishing. He's like a chill guy. You don't look cool doing that. That's so unbelievably lame. Tube writes, they keep saying Charlie and Candace weren't friends. Why then did Erica meet Candace in such a tight schedule? And why did Andrew call Candace the very first day and shared so many?
Prove that happened. Prove that happened for sure. Also, Charlie Kirk stopped talking to Candace Owens in 2024, never to talk to her again. And Candace cannot debunk that claim.
Things make it make sense, TPUSA. They can't. They're just trying to delete Charlie's history, Charlie's perspectives, Charlie's friendships. They fought viciously to do it. They couldn't sell it. They had a ton of money to put behind this narrative that Charlie and I didn't talk. The Us magazine article, Charlie was afraid to talk to Candace. What are you, we traveled together for years. Years. I was afraid.
In 2024? I bet you didn't talk to Charlie in 2024. Fox McCloud here for $2. This is coming from a woman who can't pronounce words. Exactly.
Afraid to talk to me.
Exactly.
Me calling, scared to pick up my calls. Literally, Erica's got his phone published. How many times Candace Owens has called Charlie Kirk?
You also have your phone.
It's not my thing.
You also have your phone. You could show us.
It's just, I don't like, it's just the in your ear. You know what I'm talking about?
I
just don't like AirPods for the same reason. I just feel like it's putting stuff in my brain. So I just don't do calls. I just text. And I never answer my text messages. I'm terrible at that. It's just not, I'm not a...
You should show us all the times that you texted Charlie and that he did not respond.
Phone communicator. It's not my thing. Coach E writes, when TPUSA dropped the trolling video, they introduced it to a room full of women, not us. Therefore, TPUSA was trolling women. Colbett's excuse is just not adding up. Have you heard of the Leah files? Her TPUSA audit is legit. I have not heard of it. And I wish I could have done an audit of some sort, but I try to stay within my skill.
That's interesting. I wonder why she doesn't want to look up those files. The Leah files that were apparently is it TPUSA audit? Huh. And then she just kind of bats it off, doesn't count that as evidence or anything. I wonder what those files say. I bet they show a pretty clean audit, don't they? Is that what happened?
Set I can organize.
Yes, you hate to show that.
Kids, I could do a timeline. I can't be the person that's behind the accounting. So, yeah, I actually should go look at some of the.
What are these? Let me see. What are the TPUSA Leah files? I hope I'm spelling that right. Leah or LIA. LIE could be Leah. Let's see. LEAH could be Leah. Just depends. Let's see what all this is. Candace just admitted she doesn't communicate with anyone. She keeps debunking herself. Exactly. Good catch there, Lila. The TPUSA Leah file. Okay, so it is the Leah files. Okay. Refers to a series of investigative reports, Substack posts, TikTok, YouTube content, and podcast episodes by an independent researcher known as Leah. Oh. So this might not, those aren't actual files from within. Okay. Crystal WV said for the 5 says she just proved she didn't talk with Charlie Kirk because she didn't know Charlie and Erica were at Tucker's the day before her. Yeah, I agree. That's pretty crazy. That's a good catch. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Leah runs the Leah Files, a Substack publication. Okay. She's following the money, investigations into TPUSA's finances, LLCs, and all that. Maybe we'll watch some of that on the show. A dedicated series exposing to what Leah calls TPUSA shady entities, starting with the Turning Point Endowment, describing as holding around $70 million. Okay. Claims and analysis. TPUSA losing 41% of its assets in 2023. Is it because they went liquid? The endowment functioning more like a flexible war chest. Board design function with legal restriction than a traditional restriction endowment. The endowment owning TPUSA headquarters building and acting as landlord to its political arm. Okay. Questionable investments. What? Questionable investments? Like locking funds into unnamed private equity? That may be a good business decision for all we know. I have no idea. Board expansion shortly before Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, Charlie Kirk would have been aware of that. So if it's before, if it was after his death, that would have been questionable. Before his death, though? Stuff that he had to have approved? Okay, that's way less suspicious, but okay. Financial reporting practices. Moving donor money into savings accounts, being listed as charitable accomplishments. Well, maybe they were. I don't know. Broader TPUSA audit exposes examining entities, red flags. Okay, what kind of red flags, though? And specific individuals, like Andrew Colvett. Okay. Is there anything substantial she shows? Is there anything of substance, to be honest? Let's find out. Chels Hooper for the 20 says, I just looked it up. She was on Tucker's show in August. So why does she keep saying July? If she says she was on it in July, she can't even get that right. Also, 1985 baby here, and I don't consider myself a millennial. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you are a millennial. You're part of this generation right here. No, when was it? Did I already look that up? I forgot. Yeah, 1981 to 1996. I thought it was 97. I guess not. 97, you are Gen Z. Sucks to be you. And I saw Madness say that millennial starts in his country for 1997. Why does your country consider why is it different? That's interesting. I'm going to look it up and see why that's different. That's crazy. Mandy for the 2 says she has an earpiece in right now. Earpods, huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's got that weird one. I hate that she went with that color. She really should have just went with a straight up black one or a white one or something like that. Make it look cool. Don't make it look like skin tone, like you're trying to hide it because it looks gross. It looks like a growth. I don't like it. Yes, Leah shows some substantial verifiable evidence. Okay, primarily from public IRS. Okay, like what? What's substantial? What she substantially documents, verifiable parts. Her strongest material comes from public nonprofit tax filings. Available on ProPublica nonprofit. Okay. Existence growth, money flows. Okay. Okay. Anything like have. Let's do that. And Chels Hooper again for the 10 says, also she says, don't believe anyone who says Charlie changed his stance on women. But we need to believe her that his whole stance changed on Israel. She's nuts. Exactly. It's the rules for thee, not for me. You guys don't believe what I tell you to believe, but also believe what I tell you to believe about Charlie. You know, it's just Candace gets to control. She gets the luxury of controlling the whole narrative. She knows how Charlie thought. She knows what he smelled like. She knows that he had a foot fungus the night before. He never told her that, but somehow she knew about it. As you see her with a petri dish. Figuring things out. She's crazy. She probably definitely most certainly was stalking him. Okay, yes, according to Leah's material and related reporting, there are elements that Charlie Kirk likely didn't fully know or had only recently started questioning. How did they prove that? Let's see. What Kirk almost certainly knew. Okay, I don't care about that. What Kirk might not have fully known. Specific insider dealings and related party payments. One claim tied to Leah's investigation via the blog post summarizing her findings is that 3 consulting firms receiving money from TPUSA were all owned by the same director at TPUSA. This is kind of concentrated related party contracting is the kind of detail that can be buried in vendor lists or accounting and might not have been obvious to the top executive unless he personally reviewed every contract. That's just a maybe. That's just a straight up maybe. We have no idea. You know what I mean? That's a heck of a claim. That's definitely a heck of a claim to make. Exact use of funds inside the endowment. While Kirk knew the money was flowing in, the details of how it was invested, $9.2 million parked in unnamed private equity by mid-2023, the specific asset allocations or the minimal grants flowing back during TPUSA's deficit year may have been handled more by finance ops teams. Leah presents the low outflow back to TPUSA during the 2023 rough year as particularly notable. Okay, so she puts a pin in something that looks a little suspicious. That's crazy. These are might not have only known. This is strongest supporting. Let's go to the strongest ones because I don't want to read like maybes at all. Candace Owens has publicly stated, okay, so this is a Candace Owens thing. This is priority a lie. That roughly 1 week before his end, around September 2nd, Charlie expressed concerns about TPUSA finances. He reportedly wanted to create an internal Doge department, a mini audit oversight team, to investigate where money was going. Owens described it as him being surprised by, okay, but is it only coming from Owens, though? That's the strongest supporting thing is Owens. That's great. Yeah, that makes me very confident. Leah's series is often framed around uncovering the financial map to crack the organizations before Charlie Kirk's assassination. One summary of her work explicitly says Kirk had ordered or was planning an audit out of concern. This is the same thing. This is the exact same thing. So the strongest supporting context is Charlie Kirk was starting Doge, according to Candace, and this lady, and that's it. That's all. Okay? That's very weak evidence. That's very, very, very weak evidence. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's very, very, very weak. And that's the best of it? Okay. Well, that's nothing. That's nothing to go off of. Absolutely nothing. So anyway, let's finish this up. This probably has like a minute left or so.
The videos of people who have been doing that. Someone's feral Gigi writes, Gate Kid activated, knowing the PSYOP is half the battle. Go Max, Christ is King. Totally agree.
Go Pro Max. Finish the sentence.
Christ is King, truth is winning, and they are angry and on the run. I think I read all of them. I think I skipped one. Nope, I didn't. I did not skip one. Lastly, Francesca writes, you really need to investigate why Charlie's parents are not speaking out. An interview would make sense. I fear they have been forced to stand back.
Ooh. Maybe she should interview his parents. I would like to see what they say. There you go. Why would you not like put that on like the very like forefront of priorities though? What's going to be her excuse for not doing it? Let's find out.
They were always really private, so that didn't strike me as a surprise at all.
That's insane, Candace. Because they're very private, they're not going to come out and be like, we want justice for our son? Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. They're so private that they weren't like, hey, this is all a facade. Our daughter-in-law had something to do with this. No, they're just going to be like, we're going to be very private about this. We're going to keep very, very, very quiet. Okay.
They were fiercely private. I mean, I only met them a handful of times when they came to a couple of Charlie's events. It's just not the way they operate. I don't find that to be suspicious because it's like my in-laws. Like they're not like, there are people that just aren't wired that way and they would never want to be.
So they just don't want justice for their son who was ended by their daughter-in-law? Really? That's the excuse you're going to go with, Candace?
Like they weren't involved in the face of politics despite how big Charlie was.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be their natural thing to do so. That's my opinion. I don't think they were forced to stand back at all. I do wonder what they think about Erica.
Okay. So you just admitted they have not been forced to sit back at all. This is all their choice. Their choice to keep quiet about this and let the courts play out the way it's going. Really? They had they had every single reason in the world to go after Erica Kirk, and they have decided not to. Why is that, Candace? And you're saying, I would like to know what they think about Erica. You don't know what they think about Erica? You haven't reached out and tried to find out at all? Well, that's suspicious.
I'd like to know.
Well,
if they're watching, and maybe I do know that some people in his family do watch. And
really? You know that for a fact, and you've never interviewed any of them?
Do support. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you. I'd keep it all off record. I promise.
Sure you do. Sure you do. You'll keep it all off record, and you're just going to be like, oh, anonymous source. Anonymous source. I won't tell anybody, but they're really close to Charlie. They don't believe Erica was a good person. That's what you're going to do.
Anyway, you guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can head over.
Nope. I would rather not support the show. Well, that's that. Yeah, she's just going to... That's a dangerous one. She does not. She absolutely does not want to pull Charlie's parents into this mix because I think they will shut her down. That's what I think would happen, honestly. But yeah, guys, so I got memberships going. If you guys are new here, by the way, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're interested in becoming a member, I just started this up. I'm going to be working on loyalty badges. Before the next live stream, you guys will have way different badges. It's not going to be these blue stars and purple stars and green stars and all that. It's going to be actual good pictures. I'm going to be working on that tonight and tomorrow and probably Sunday if it takes too long. I'll have to figure out exactly how to make all the stickers. Things may have changed. We'll have to find out. But yeah, guys, if you all want to, I'd really appreciate it. Membership is going to get you guys early access to the videos before they come out. That's kind of the thing I can offer now, and stickers. And then at 500, when 500 people join, I'm going to be making a daily members-only video. When 1,000 people join, it will be a members-only live streams at the end, like right now. Like, let's say, like, right now I would end the live stream, and then we would jump over to a members-only live stream. You know, if you guys want to do something like that. You said, watch this as a palette cleaner or palette cleaner. Oh, yeah, I already opened this one. Yeah, that sounds like a good time to me. We can pull this up. This looks like it'd be fun. Take a look at a couple guys duking it out in the form of Vegeta and Goku here. I have to mute the music, though. So, what are they doing here? Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. So they're trying to recreate all the scenes here. I dig it. That's cool. Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's cool stuff. Yeah, good for them. That's really, really neat. Some people are really, really, really creative, aren't they? But yeah, guys, if y'all want to join, thank you all so, so much for joining. I think I should probably name off everybody who joined and everybody who sent a super, like, you know, how like everybody sent a super chat. I should probably also name off every single person who joins as well. That'd be awesome. What do you guys think of that too? So we'll do all that. There'll be some perks for joining as a membership, and the more people that join, the more perks that we're going to get. That's what's going to happen. The more perks that we will be adding. Eventually, after we get to like 1,000, then I guess I'll add a new goal and add more stuff and just really entice people more and more to join. And pretty soon we'll have a crazy, crazy community. And I'll end up having to be on this interacting with you guys for like 8 hours a day at least, which will be super awesome, actually. That would be a lot more fun than going to my job. I can tell you that. And I guarantee you, my wife would absolutely love to just stay home with the kids. I think we may do something. I don't know how interested would you all be, theoretically speaking, if my advertiser for the channel ended up being my wife starting something like a bath bomb company or something like that. Would you guys be into something like that, just out of curiosity? Would really like to know your thoughts on that. Because she'd really like to do something. She's very, very creative, very crafty. And it would also be a fun thing for her to do with the kids. She's wanting to make her own bath bombs, stuff like that, because, well, you know, bath bombs are, the good ones are not only expensive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because obviously, you know, she'll spend the money on a good bath bomb. I think that's just what women do in general. They buy beauty products and stuff like that. But also, what other angle would the good ones are harder to get. You know, you have to go in person and get them from like a place like Lush or something like that. So she was like, what if we, you know, she made them really high quality ones or something like that. Also, I would like to make one for dudes. And how I think we could do that is make like a clear one in the shape of something that's like an American flag or a firearm or something like that. And it just smell like cologne or something. And when it dissolves, it just doesn't change the water color at all. And just makes you smell like a good soapy smell. That'd be kind of a cool thing, right? Has that been done? Maybe it's been done. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But what would you all think about that? Also, Chels Hooper here for the 10 says, have you ever watched Cool V1C? He sets a target for super chats and has funny AI vids that he plays when the goal is reached. and sets it again. And sets it again. It's hilarious. Just an idea for you. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for that. That is interesting. And then we have Sarah Bell joining as a fellow troll here. Thank you so much for that. And Cameron Peterson also joins as a troll. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dudes don't take baths? No, not most of the time they don't. But sometimes, you take a bath with your spouse, sit down and just why did I almost say that? Not unload, relax. Good Lord. I tried to say relax again and I almost said unload. No, not unload. Like, just sit back, relax, and piping hot water. I wonder if they can make some for like a hot tub or something like that, or would that just ruin the hot tub? I don't know. Shower bombs? What's a shower bomb? How does that work? Do they have things for the shower? That would be kind of cool. Can you do that? Can you make like one for like the shower? Is that a thing? What do you tie it onto that sounds like it'd be a pain in the rear. Would you tie it onto the sprayer? How does that even work? Oh, well, stuff to look into. My wife knows about this stuff. And I was like, hey, if you're going to do this, can you make is there a dude thing that you like, has that ever been done? She's like, I've never heard of one. So it was just like an idea. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. We'll have to try and ship them out and stuff like that. If we even get to it. I don't even know. Shower steamer? Is that what they're called? Shower bomb is a bath bomb? Okay. Maybe you have to put it in like a sack or something. You can throw it over the top of the shower head and it'll just rain down on it or something. Or it'll just spray people in the eyes. That would suck. It just turns out to be the worst product ever sold. That'd be very, very funny. Of course, it would be likely to come from me. That'd be so funny, though. Oh, man. I suppose that could be true, too, Artie. Yeah, I guess so. Shower gel? Yeah, maybe. Could do something like that. I don't know. She likes to get all natural stuff due to, obviously her autoimmune disease and stuff like that. And all natural things that don't disrupt hormones and stuff like that. Plus, I'm afraid, I don't know if they do this, but I'm not going to name any company names. But there's some very, very, very woke companies that have been hinting at putting like hormones and stuff like that in their bath bombs and whatnot. And putting just in general, they might not even be intentionally doing it, but bad chemicals that disrupt hormones. She wants to stay away from that and make it all natural. You know what I mean? So it'd be really cool to have her do something like that, but maybe not. You put it in the floor of the shower? So they do exist? Interesting. Huh. I'm sure my wife knows all this stuff. I'll ask her about it. That would be very, very interesting, though, for sure, to learn about. Let's see here. So this doesn't show, like, membership. Oh, this is membership, though. Okay. So if I go over to here, I can go into this and see how many members I have, but it doesn't show yet. Yeah, it's gonna have to take a while. It's gonna take like 24 hours for it to show that I've got memberships, I think. So we'll see how many members we have before too long. Super awesome of you guys to join. I am very excited for this because this means I'm gonna get to make more content for you guys at some point. You see 232 likes, which is pretty incredible, seeing there are 239 people in here. Heck yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Man, you guys have been liking the crap out of the videos. I don't even think I really asked, directly for likes. So, thank you all. You guys are amazing. All natural bath bombs? Yes, exactly. That's her idea. We'll see where she goes with that for sure. Yeah, nano women for... exactly. For F's sakes, heck yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. I told her, if she decided to start something like that, because obviously she wants to, not do her nursing. That nursing is, God, what a brutal job. But it's like she would like something to do still. She doesn't want to just stay home and just, do the homeschooling and just cook full time and all that. You know what I mean? She also still wants to be creative and make things. And I was like, yeah, I would, instead of taking an advertiser, it's like, I could just advertise your thing if you start one. That would be way better. Way, way better. And it wouldn't be some like crazy company. I wouldn't be advertising some CEO or like not CEO, some corporation or something like that. It would just be stuff we make out of our house. So I thought that would be a cooler, much more authentic thing to do. You know what I mean? And if we do that, we'll never have to take advertisers. Like, why would I ever bother taking an advertiser if my wife just starts up a little company and then I'm just doing members and doing what you guys want to see? You know what I mean? That's a way better deal in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not wrong. We'll have to see where it goes. You know, if it turns out to not be the thing, then it's not the thing. And hey, you know what? It is what it is. I'm totally cool with that. But, you know, we're just trying things, seeing what sticks and what you guys like. And, yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, to be honest. Let's see here. What was I going to... I thought I saw a comment I wanted to read. Let's see. Yeah. I think I missed it. I thought I saw something. Oh, well. The old tin bath you set up in always bubbly soapy water. Oh, yeah. See, that I would like to... I'd like to do something. I think that would be kind of a cool to set up a bathroom like all rustic, have the old like horse trough, or not horse trough, but like the cow trough or whatever you call it, a big tin on some like old repurposed stool legs or something like that. That'd be kind of it. That would be a neat look. That'd be kind of a cool thing to do, like remodel a whole bathroom and just old rustic like stuff like that. Let's see. There's a glitch in the Matrix. The video keeps going back to the beginning for you. Oh, that sucks, Angie. I'm sorry. Hopefully that stops doing that. Yeah, YouTube's a little weird. It's a little weird. Num, num, num. She's like, num, 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 num. Yeah, that one lined up perfectly. I'm glad it didn't lag out. That was great. Love that. It's always fun to... Nope, nope, nope. She's like, I once caught a fish that was about this big. It was a big fish. Num num. It's so fun. She makes the best faces. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, this is a fun one. Good fun stuff, guys. Thank you all so much for being here, by the way. Let me go ahead and read everybody off now, so I'll be able to get all this stuff going here. I'm going to have to hop off here and get these kiddos to bed. Man, you guys, man, I did not expect tonight to go this way. Thank you all so, so much. Vladimir Stravosky for the $5. Thank you so much. Cece's a super troll. Jujubee is a troll. Love My Aussie is a troll. Kansas State, or Kansas, oh, is it Kansas State? Yeah, Kansas State Jayhawks is a troll. Vladimir Stravosky is a troll. Jujubee, thank you for gifting a membership. D. Hampton, thank you for becoming a troll. Mackenzie Moore, thank you for becoming a troll. Buzz Bickle, thank you for becoming a troll. Angie, thank you for becoming a troll. Tracy, you too. Natalie Herman for becoming a super troll. Chels Hooper for becoming a troll. K. Posto for becoming a troll. And, Chels Hooper upgraded to super troll. Thank you for that. Chels Hooper for the 10. Crystal Brown for the 20. Patricia Rich for becoming a troll. Mr. for becoming a troll. M. Songbird for becoming a troll. Bart Curlish for becoming a troll. Miss Lolo is here for becoming a troll. And Mr., thank you for gifting out a membership. And Miss Lolo, thank you for gifting out 5 memberships. Thank you so much. You guys are so unbelievably nice. Man, so many generous people here. Like, thank you guys. Jay Fortman for becoming a troll. Chelsea Hernandez for becoming a troll. Crystal Brown for becoming a troll. DDS Allen for becoming a super troll and gifting 10 troll memberships. Thank you so much. MTX for the 2. Thank you very much for that. Fox McLeod for $10 here. MTX for the 5. Jennifer for Jennifer Cockfield for becoming a troll. MTX for the 5. Kimberly Gonzalez for becoming a troll. Texas Motherbird for becoming a troll. MTX for the 2. Fox McCloud for the 10. MTX for the 10. MTX for the 2 as well. Love My Aussie for the 2. Fox McCloud for the 5. Andy for the 5. Introspective Cat for becoming a troll. Fairchild Alexander for becoming a troll. Mandy for the 2. Grits for the 20. Mandy for the 5. Fox for the 2. Crystal for the 5. Chels Hooper for the 20. Mandy for the 2. And Chels Hooper for another 20. And then Sarah becoming a troll and Cameron for becoming a troll. Thank you all so much. You all are amazing. Like, holy crap. I like I said, I never thought I'd even make it to this point. I cannot wait to see what the future has for this channel and with you guys. Thank you all so much. Biblical bath bombs? That's interesting. Wonder how I would do that. Maybe I could like, oh, that'd be cool. Have like a little engraved stone maybe in the middle of it or something. When it dissolves away, it has like a little like Psalm 29 or something like that, or you know what I mean? That could be really cool to do. Indigenous bath bombs. How does that one work? What are you trying to get me to make here? Like how, like, what do you, maybe you're serious about that? I thought you were going to say like somebody comes up and, well, okay, I can't say that probably on YouTube. But, yeah, how would that work though? That's interesting. But yeah, that would be some cool stuff. I don't know. We're going to definitely come up with some ideas, but at the same time, I would definitely like to run all this by you guys. You guys have amazing ideas. Yeah, I mean, shoot. This may be one of the first companies that just completely caters 100% to the audience before, you know, making any type of product. Like, hey, let's get all the feedback. What do you all actually want? And then we just roll it out exactly what people ask for. That would be probably the smartest thing any company could ever hope to do, I think, in my opinion. That would be awesome. Let's do that. And you guys have some awesome ideas. Thank you so much, Scarlett, for that one, though. The Bible one sounds really cool. I think we could figure something out with that. That'd be awesome. And Grits, becoming a troll. Thank you so much. Alrighty, do a gaming live stream? That would be fun, too. I should, I have another gaming channel that I kind of started to do, but ended up, kind of, if I see, I renamed it over here. Oh, I renamed it over here to, what the heck? Oh, I could zoom in. Oh, that's kind of convenient. It's a different thing, but here we go. Like I renamed it to Dadbod Gaming instead of Arthemesia Gaming. And I thought about uploading some stuff to it, and then I ended up not. But, you know, maybe I could roll that in as part of it or something, or maybe just do a members-only gaming stream on certain days or something. We'll figure it out for sure. We'll definitely get things figured out and ironed out. But for now, I definitely have to go get these kiddos put down to bed, let my wife relax for a little bit because she's so nice to be able to watch the kids while I do this and hang out with you guys. And now it's, you know, it's up for me from 8 o'clock onward to kind of take over and let her sit down. She'll read her brand new Kindle. She's addicted to the ACOTAR series and Throne of Glass series, stuff like that, as I think everybody is right now. Most women are, I'd say, right now. Not really my thing, but, you know, definitely her thing. Let's see. She definitely wanted to catch the big fish, Charlie, that she never caught. I agree with that. Paramount Plus, actually? Yeah, absolutely. The UFC fights are on Paramount? I have Paramount. Oh, I'm so gonna watch it. It's not like pay-per-view? I'm definitely checking it out. Yeah. The USC White House UFC fight? Yeah. I think they're on tonight. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here, though. Please like, subscribe, and share if you guys haven't, and check out the memberships, and I'll see you all here in the next one.